Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together they will write their own tale of glory, rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of valor ever rising, but victory brings new rewards. Tales of glory, might, and wonder, hard-fought battles, treasures won. Our heroes know their fate awaits them, and so they carry on.
Okay, welcome everybody. Are we good on both sides, VP?
Looking good.
Excellent. Hello, and welcome to Waterdeep. I am once again your humble master of dungeons and keeper of dragons, Pixel, and I'm excited to present to you. The Pixel is just doing that accent to mess with VP because he can. This campaign is not taking place in Barovia, probably. Very first episode of Ages of Ainur in collaboration with our beloved creative partners in the Yeet Fleet presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Those of you who have been with us before, you may know the drill, but for anyone new who might be joining us, we're going to get into the game here in just a few moments, but before we do, we have some housekeeping things to go over. First things first, as you can see by our overlays, I am back in the DM chair for this adventure. So as a result, the stream visuals will show the Dungeon Master perspective of Roll20 maps and game screens. So our viewers will be able to see everything that I see as the DM, including things like hiding monsters, secret doors, and other such privileged information. Viewers, please don't discuss anything in chat which our heroes aren't yet privy to, whether that's a monster hiding around the corner or a secret door they haven't yet noticed yet, or an NPC lying about their identity. Our players will usually be hanging out in chat with you all to interact, to keep the stream fun, but we don't want to spoil anything for them if possible, and I am relying on the honor system of them not to look at the chat screen that has the map on it and know things they shouldn't know. Also, if you've played this adventure before, please try not to spoil anything. Also, I have changed some stuff in here, so even if you have played it before, some stuff might be different. Second, please don't freak out about the rules. D&D is a very complicated game with lots and lots of rules. None of us can keep every single one of those in our heads at all times. Thus, we may forget certain rules, we may have to improvise on the fly. I may flat out get some stuff wrong. So, try not to freak out about it. If we're on stream and we're trying to remember how a rule works and you happen to know it, you're welcome to drop that in chat and we'll try to pick up on it. But if we don't see or notice it, or if I just decide to go with the rule of cool or make a ruling, don't get bent out of shape. We're trying our best to have fun and tell a compelling story. Whether we get all the rules right 100% correct all the time is not really relevant as long as we accomplish that. Also note, we are using the old 2014 rules instead of the new 2024 ones. The main reason is that I cannot be asked to spend more money buying new books, and I'm also too lazy to learn the new rules. Third, this is an open and welcoming space, so please do keep the internet toxicity out of here. Never usually a problem with our audiences, but we do want to make sure people know that we don't put up with people being abusive or hateful in chat. Whether that's to other viewers or to our players, please don't criticize our players' knowledge of the game or the rules, character choices they make, roleplay that they do, and how they play the game, or really, frankly, anything else about them. We're all doing our best to have fun and put on a good show, and if you don't have anything nice to say about our players who are putting themselves out there and playing make-believe in front of an audience of dozens of people, then shut the fuck up! And don't say anything at all. Again, it's almost never a problem with you guys, but we do like to give those warnings up front so everyone knows what the expectations are in this space. Now, because this is early on in the campaign, and we may have some folks who are watching who have never seen AOA stuff before, I do want to explain some ways that you guys can impact the stream as viewers. To note, we are on the AOA side with these. I don't believe they exist on the VP side, but some ways you can spend channel points are, first, you can spend channel points to grant inspiration to any player. Inspiration is a mechanic where our PCs can spend a charge of inspiration to grant themselves a reroll on any dice rolls. We are using the 2014 rules, but I do actually like the new inspiration rules, so I'm stealing them. I know I said we're only using the 2014 ones literally less than 2 minutes ago. Sue me, I do what I want. Our PCs have 2 separate inspiration pools that they can draw from. They can have 1 charge of each at a time. In addition to chat inspiration, I will sometimes grant them DM inspiration for RP that I like, or making good in-character choices that fit with their bonds, flaws, ideals, personality traits, backstories, etc. And then, of course, they have the chat inspiration, which is granted by you folks in chat when you spend channel points. If you redeem chat inspiration, please include the name of the character you want to grant inspiration to when you redeem the points. There are indicators on the screen that I have, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn all these on so you can see them. Next to each character, there they are over there. You can see them next to Vincent. The dice indicate inspiration, and we'll talk about the other mechanic here in a second. So you'll see these white D20 icons next to their faces. This indicates that they currently have inspiration, so as we just started, we're going to turn those back off because they don't yet. So if you don't see those white dice, you can spend channel points to grant inspiration to a player. If somebody already has inspiration and you don't notice that and try to grant it to them, we will try to do our best to either refund you or ask you if you'd like that to go to someone else. Also, if you notice me misgranting or removing chat inspiration icons from someone as we play, you do have permission to pester me about it in Twitch chat until I notice it and fix it. Pixel deserves inspiration too. All right, thank you, Ace. Well, duly noted. Okay, we're good there. Now, the second way that you can influence the game as viewers is by granting hit dice, also with channel points. Hit dice are a mechanic that allows players to regain hit points during short rest, but in our channel points mechanics, you can use it to allow a player to spend a free hit dice at any point during the stream to regain some hit points. This can only be redeemed once per player per stream, unlike inspiration, which can be redeemed as many times as we want, as long as they have spent their previous charge. They can't stack charges. Anyway, if a player has had hit dice redeemed for them in a given stream, you will see the heart icon by their face as such. And we are going to turn all of those off as well, because no one has had those yet. Let me get back where I am. So, yeah, this is essentially free healing for the PCs once per session. They can regain these points instantly, and if the points push them over their hit point maximum, I do allow them to convert the remainder into temporary hit points if they wish. The exception is that if a character is currently at 0 hit points and is making death saving throws and someone redeems hit dice for them, they won't regain the extra hit points until they regain hit points from another source. For example, getting healing or naturally waking up from unconsciousness, etc. This is to prevent the hit dice for mechanic from being able to revive a down party member, as this would drastically undermine the stakes and threat of combat in the game. The same rules apply for giving hit dice who's already had it redeemed. As for inspiration, we will ask if you want it given to another party member or refunded. I should also address the fact we have streamed this campaign before on this channel. It was the first long-form campaign we did. It was 2 or 3 years ago now. I am tremendously proud of that campaign and the work that everyone involved put in. We are running and streaming this again because I was asked by these particular players to DM for them. And this is the adventure that everyone was most excited to play. I do expect that the events of this campaign will differ significantly from the previous one, so please treat them as separate examples of the story of Waterdeep Dragon Heist and try to enjoy them for what they are. As a reminder, we do release the show on the Ages of Honor YouTube the week following each session, so that if you miss a session or have to leave early, don't get to see the whole thing, you can be caught up, or if you just want to watch it at your own leisure, or if you just want to rewatch everything because it was so excellent that you just can't help yourself, you can still do that on our YouTube page, as well as you can find our old campaigns archived there if you want to watch them. All of that having been said, last thing before we get started, I promise the intro will get shorter as we go. We're going to go around and cast. If you would please introduce yourself, but not your character, starting with the inestimable Yeet Daddy himself, Vincent Page.
Hey guys, what's up? I am Vincent Page, and I am super excited to be back here on Ages of Honor, playing in another campaign. As we know, I got absolutely traumatized by Curse of Strahd. I'm hoping we get a different experience this time. But I did want to really quick, again, I don't want to go into too long of intro stuff. We are streaming on my channel as well, but guys, please go check out Ages of Honor. That's where all the fun extra in-chat interaction stuff's going to happen. Just go over there. I'm but a vessel today for the Ages of Honor stream.
Excellent. Also, you guys can plug your socials if you have any that you want to plug. I don't know that anyone but VP does, but I should say that. Next, Stuff.
Hello, my name is Lady Stuff, yeah, I'm super excited. This is my second campaign with this group of folks. I've been more traumatized by our, fantastical Witchlight one than I expected, so I expect nothing less than that from this one as well. It'll be great.
Excellent. Skynet.
Yep, I'm Skynet the Wise is what I go for on here. Been around the community for quite a while now, and excited to do Waterdeep with our boy Pixel here. So let's do it.
Excellent. And Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason. This is my second D&D campaign ever, also with this same group, although not with Pixel. So first time with Pixel, and I'm basically Mr. Stuff, so I'm married to that one.
You pointed at Foxy on mine.
Oh, that's funny. On my end, he pointed at Stuff on the stream itself. Excellent. And Foxy.
I am Foxy. This is my second ever D&D campaign. I am, as for the Yeet fleet to see, as I am not married to the one below me. And I'm excited to have fun with this group. We've been having a lot of fun with Witchlight, so I'm excited to see what this one brings for us.
Oh, I should have clarified really quick. You guys you're below Stuff on the overlay. Just in the Zoom meeting, he was right above you. So
Yeah.
Oh, well, never
Sorry.
mind. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
I get it now. That's my bad.
That's okay. Alrighty. Well, friends, with that having been said, let's get into it. Waterdeep, the city of splendors, the shining jewel of the Sword Coast, a vast metropolis with streets full of the kaleidoscopic menagerie of life. Merchants, nobles, beggars, thugs, adventurers, tradesfolk, and more make their home here in the center of the Sword Coast of Faerun. However, we see the beautiful city of splendors not as it exists during the daytime, but rather twinkling away as the night comes down from the heavens. The green and gold continual flames of the city watch flicker away, comforting those who feel protected by the armed might of the watch. The estates of the nobility often display their wealth and prestige with their own magical illuminations, concentrated mostly in the seaward and the northwest of the city. More humble lamps and candles keep the quiet streets of the north, castle, and trades wards lit, and the southern end of the city is lit much more sporadically in the dock and the southern wards. Not even the mighty city watch can keep these more rough and tumble areas of the city lit at night. As the sea breeze rolls in off the great harbor, the smell of the sea is in the air this night. At night, here, the furtive people make their way about their business with cloaks pulled up to hide their features, and their eyes darting about to take in their surroundings and assess the possibility of danger lurking ever in shadow. We see few such figures making their way in the streets of the dock ward, moving quickly from place to place, endeavoring not to draw attention to themselves, As we watch these passers-by from above, we turn to look at a nearby roof, also overlooking this winding, dark street, to see, illuminated only by the light of the silver moon peeking through the coastal clouds, a hooded and cloaked individual, much like those below. Vareth, would you please describe your character?
Yeah. So Vareth is a drow, and dressed very, very darkly. If you were to pull his hood back, you would see pretty sharp features, medium length white hair, pretty stark compared to the rest of his attire and skin tone, and purple eyes.
And Vareth, as you look down from your perch onto the furtive figures below, a group catches your eye. You can tell from here that the figures on the street, the other figures on the street, are giving them a wide berth. You recognize them from a previous stakeout. This is a group of ruffians who may have ties to one of Waterdeep's numerous criminal organizations. You hear a voice from nearby. Hey, boss. Is that one of the ones we have been tailing?
It would seem so.
Perhaps we should follow?
Yeah, I think that would be the best case.
As the group makes its way along the winding alleys of the Dark Ward, Vareth snakes his way along the rooftops, trailing them until they reach a warehouse and enter. Vareth, you jump and pull yourself onto the wooden fence that surrounds the warehouse and carefully balance to make your way to the edge of the building itself. You jump again to grip the external windowsill before swinging yourself over to land on the lower section of the warehouse roof. You can see a slanted window looking down into the roof nearby. You creep over to it and look down into the dimly lit room below. You see the group you had followed standing there in the warehouse as if waiting for someone. After a brief moment, you see another figure. You see another figure approach the group. This figure isn't wearing a hood or mask like the other individuals you've been following. You see a halfling woman with deeply tanned skin, shoulder-length brown hair, and yellow eyes, who begins to speak to the group below. You can read her lips as she says, "All right, lads, so the target is that ginger, prissy nobleman. Word has reached us that he's wandering the dock ward tonight. He'll regret slumming it this time." You hear a voice nearby. "What's she saying? What's she saying?"
Seems the target's some ginger nobleman.
As you and whoever it is speak to one another, you look down and see the thugs below appear to react. As you glance, it seems that the window you're looking in, the other side of it, it's sort of a, little, like, it comes to a point like a triangle, and on the other side you see one of them is open. Your voices have carried below. You see the thugs look up and then begin to shout and give chase. You turn and run towards the edge of the building. A few moments later, you hear several loud clinks in succession, and then footsteps as you turn to see the thugs climbing onto the roof with you and beginning to give chase as you turn back and leap across the alley below to the next roof over. And I am going to change the audio real quick. Where is it? That'll do. Okay, so you give the thugs look up and see you and begin to give chase, and they jump up on the roof with their grappling hooks. Vareth, you are running and dashing, hiding behind chimneys, being chased. You hear a voice from nearby you once again, who says, "Over there, the gap is smaller." And you leap, however, As you turn to make that leap, you slip on a loose roof tile and fall off the roof. You grab onto a nearby clothesline, breaking your fall. It sort of pulls down but doesn't snap. As it begins to rebound upward, you leap up and begin to land carefully on the rope and tightrope walk your way to the next building. As you continue to run, you hear a whistling behind you just as you are about to jump to yet another roof. One of the grappling hooks around your ankle, causing you to tumble. Rather than land on the next roof, you actually sort of smash through the shutters of a window into a dimly lit, sort of very humid room. You crash into this sort of, what's the word I want? Variegated, maybe? Kind of wooden screen, and you see a bathtub in front of you. There is a man in the tub with white hair and a washcloth over his face, which he sort of like, jolts up as you come crashing into the window, and the washcloth falls off of his face. He is startled as you knock over this wooden partition. He says, "What the hell?" Vareth, you shout a quick apology or something like that as you run out the door to jump to the next window onto a lower roof of a nearby window. After you jump, a woman with dark hair pops up from the bathwater looking confused and says, "What was that?" The man says, "No idea." And they shrug as we follow Vareth out the window. And then as the sun is beginning to come up, the night has been ending. You've been chasing you've been fleeing practically all night. You realize that running across the roofs is no longer an option as people begin to make their way out of their houses and along the streets. You finally decide to wall jump down into a narrow alleyway and rush out into the beginning of the morning traffic, the people going about their day. As you rush out of the alley, a cart carrying cabbages goes by. Vareth, you dive through the opening between the cabbages and the little cloth roof, and you roll to pull up on the other side and keep running while the Zentarim, who have been chasing you, barrel directly into the cart, spilling the cabbages and pissing off the cart owner. A nearby guard contingent catches these ruffians in a pile on the ground and starts to make them put the cabbages back into the cart as Vareth gets away and starts to make his way back home. Vareth, you find a sort of breakfast cart that's being put out, and you acquire a hot pastry or two, and make your way back to your abode. Where does Vareth live? I can take off the crazy battle music now. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think Vareth, excuse me, God, I'm already hoarse. I've not even done it that much. Vareth lives above a shop on Presper Street in the Dockward, so he probably makes his way back there.
Yeah, so you make your way back there. You've grabbed a little bit of extra breakfast, and you leave it on the counter of the shop for the shopkeeper who lets you stay in the attic before you make your way upstairs to sleep. Before you go to sleep, you do break off a small piece of your food and set it down on the bedside table, and something skitters out from nearby to eat it. As Vareth climbs into the attic to find your rest, we make our way out the attic window just before Vareth shuts it to keep out the sun. We pass over the streets of Waterdeep once more as its inhabitants leave their homes and make their way to begin their workdays. The streets are alive with sights and sounds and smell, as a kaleidoscope of people and creatures navigate to and fro. We pass from the lantern maker's humble shop in the central dock ward north over the roofs and across Fish Street to Snail Street, and then into a simple block of buildings, and through an openings in the blinds of another small attic room, we see Ash. Would you please describe your character?
Yeah, so in the room is dim, lit just by a soft glowing pulse in a clay bowl. There's a glowing ember in a bowl in the middle of the floor. In front of that ember kneels a figure. He has dusky skin and dark hair with a streak of ash white and a shoulder-length wavy hair. The faint glow of the ember barely illuminates his face. He's clearly a halfling. He's young, small, with rounded cheeks and wide eyes, but there's a tension to his stillness, a weight in his look, and he feels older than he should, like he's carrying something. Around the rest of the room, there's a neatly placed bedroll against the wall, a worn satchel, a green cloak folded with care at the end of the bed, on top of which a worn copy of Volo's Guide to Waterdeep sits. Attached to the wall is a small board. It's got a couple of thread-wrapped scraps of parchment and charcoal sketches of various people attached to the board, kind of arranged with crisscrossing lines. And as he sits there, you see on his neck glows a softly pulsing leaf-shaped brand on his neck. And he just sits there. It's morning. He's just thinking, praying perhaps, right in front of the ember. And after a moment, he stands up and grabs his bag and steps outside.
The stairs creak beneath Ash's boots. Below, warm lamplight spills from the bakery, where the scent of yeast and cinnamon hangs thick in the air. A large half-orc in a flour-dusted apron sets trays into the window to cool. The individual, without looking, calls out, "Thought I heard those boots too early."
Didn't plan it.
You're just in time. I pulled the first tray here. He sets the loaf aside and looks up with a grin that wrinkles half his face. Is that your usual batch?
And Ash will pull out a small pouch and open it up and pull out of that pouch just a big handful of these beautifully ripe berries that just are glowing beautifully. Fresh as always.
He nods and begins wrapping a bundle, which he exchanges with Ash as a couple warm, one from yesterday. It'll keep. And this one's got a bit more weight to it. He finishes folding it and offers it across the counter. You mentioned the boy by Lantern Court. Figured he could use something with some weight to it.
He'll notice. Thank you.
They briefly share a familiar look as Ash tucks the bundle into his cloak and turns toward the door. Ash makes his way through the city, walking the paths most avoid, keeping to the shadow and silence. He turns from Odd Street onto the busy path of Ship Street, but for a moment, before returning to the less well-trod Siren Street, before tucking into one of its unnamed alleys. He rounds a corner and kneels beside a sleeping child, hurled against the wall. From his satchel, he pulls a small roll and slips it into the child's worn bag. One hand lingers on the strap, a silent offering before he moves on. Farther along, in a nary alley choked with shadow between Sternpost Street and Astral's Way, a hooded figure slouches against the stone. The man's eyes flick to the bread in Ash's hand. He says nothing.
Ash will crouch down, not saying anything, and just reach out and offer the bread.
The man quietly takes the bread, a beat of silence, and then... Red ink crates hit Spinner's Row last night. Quiet job, no markings, but plenty of guards. Someone's paying for silence.
Ash will nod, thinking, you always notice the quiet ones.
Someone has to.
Thanks again. Ash will get up and start wandering off.
Yeah, Ash once again takes the long way from there, following a crooked back lane that thins to foot traffic just before it closes between tenements. He slips through a narrow break in the wall between Nelnuck's Walk and Watch Run Alley, barely wide enough for a man. Inside is quiet, a forgotten patch of green, a rare sight in this part of town. Soft moss, a few hardy plants, one tree growing stubborn from the stone, a place most would miss unless they knew to look.
And Ash walks in and kneels down beneath the tree. It just takes a minute. And he clears a shallow patch of soil with his hands. And from under his cloak, he'll pull out a wrapped bundle, just a few random things, some berries, a sprig of green, some fine gray salt, and he will just sprinkle it into the earth that he just opened up. Just kind of cover it up like he's making an offering. Close his eyes and say, "You fed me, taught me the fire, the growing. This is all I've got to give back."
A breeze stirs the leaves. Distant city sounds drift past, but somehow they don't quite reach here.
Ash just sits for a minute, just sitting, thinking, remembering. And after a few minutes, he'll get up, brush the dirt off his hand, and slip right back out the way he came in.
By the time the noise of the city returns, he is already gone. We, however, linger on that patch of green for a moment. The trees' leaves swaying gently in the spring breeze. A tiny red butterfly sits tenderly on one such rocking leaf before taking flight. We follow it above the rooftops, but lose it as a small flock of seagulls comes into view. We follow the gulls over the city, cutting across Gut Alley and Black Star Lane, turning north over Snail Street, and Soothsayer's Way, the Way of the Dragon and the High Road. We cross over the green lawns and mausoleum of the City of the Dead, and then far into the North Ward, before we reach a modest home on Lion Street. A simple house in the North Ward, red brick with deep green shutters. We see the door open and a man steps outside. Skynet, would you please describe your character?
Yeah, so you see this character walk out of his house. He's standing about 6 foot tall. He's got long golden locks of hair and, wearing some studded armors. And, yeah.
Yeah, so we see this man step out his door and make his way from Lion Street to Saradoon Street. He greets many people along the way, and all greet him fondly in return. He is well known in this neighborhood. From Saradoon Street to Whalegond Way, to a long stint on Delzerin Street as it crosses the High Road, Copper Street, Shield Street, Soul Street, Mendiver Street, before we see the man finally turn down Feather Street and then merge into the Southern Lane, until he reaches the market. As the man passes through the market, we see hundreds of people browsing the various stores and stalls. An enormous variety of goods are bought and sold here. Indeed, if something one desires can be bought at all, one is almost certain to find it in the market of Waterdeep. Among the press of bodies, the man sees another man nearby in tattered clothes, looks side to side, before quickly reaching out and grabbing a loaf of bread from a baker's stall, and turning to quickly leave the area. Skynet, what does the man do?
Yeah, so Skynet quickly reaches out and grabs him right quick and, talks to him. And he says, what makes you want to steal today?
I'm sorry, sir, please. I'm just so hungry.
Well, how about if I buy it for you?
You would do that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. And Victor's gonna turn to the shopkeeper and pass him off whatever a loaf of bread costs.
Sure, yeah. You hand off a few copper pieces, let's say 2, and he takes it and hands over the loaf of bread. The shopkeeper none the wiser to the attempted theft, but after handing over the now purchased bread to the man, who looks both grateful and ashamed, the man we have been following resumes his trek through Waterdeep. From the market itself down the Street of Skills to Waterdeep Way, and then on to Soothsayer's Way, which we've passed once already, we see the man in the heart of Waterdeep, where the Castle Ward, the Dock Ward, and the Trades Ward all meet. The man hears a commotion nearby and follows the hubbub to Snail Street, and then Scroll Street before reaching Virgin Square, a paved courtyard in the edge of the Trades Ward. The square, though paved, does have a few trees decorating it, and under one such tree we see several people gathered. The man makes his way over to see what's going on and sees an elderly woman at the front of the small crowd, looking anxiously into the tree. Skynet, what does the man do?
He's gonna look at the lady and be like, "Ma'am, what's everything okay?"
Oh, my mittens is stuck into the tree there. And as he gets closer, the man hears this meow, meow, meow from up in the tree.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up in the tree and just kind of get a glimpse of how far away it is.
Yeah, you see a small cat, black on the face and back with like white underbelly and little white socks with like black legs. A cute little black and white cat clinging desperately to one of the branches.
Yeah. Victor's gonna take off his shield and take off his sword, and he's gonna put it on the ground, and he is going to use his long lengths of arms to climb the tree and get the cat down.
Yeah, so you climb up and you very carefully reach out for the cat. I'm going to ask for perhaps the first check of the adventure. Skynet, if you would have your character make for me an animal handling check.
Set the tone, bub. Here we go.
Here we go.
12. 12 is certainly going to be good enough for this. The cat is quite scared, but nevertheless you are able to deftly snatch it, pull it from the branch, and then pull it in close. It sort of like clings to your armor, but manages not to scratch you in the process. And the man climbs back down the tree, and before carefully handing the cat to the old woman, who begins to pet it and sort of coo to the cat. Oh, mittens! Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep. I'm gonna look at the old lady and say, "Now you keep Mitten in your house now. Don't let him get out again."
He snuck out the window as I was setting out a pie to let it cool. I wasn't thinking.
Very well.
And the crowd begins to disperse, the cat having been rescued from the tree, and as the man leaves the courtyard and the grateful woman behind, he catches his reflection in a nearby shop window. Takes a brief moment to stop and look at his own reflection. Precisely what thoughts cross his mind as he gazes at his reflection, we are not privy to. But we do note that his gaze lingers for a moment on his own features, before he resumes his trek and turns back to cross the way of the dragon to Blackthorn Alley, and then make his way to a rather striking building known as the Plinth. It is a hazy afternoon, and the Plinth's steps buzz faintly with low voices, coughs, and whispered prayers. This building is a temple to all the gods, and often the sick and injured gather here in the hopes that the devout will offer them some aid and comfort. A few injured and ill sit quietly in shaded corners, wrapped in threadbare cloaks, as the man we have been following enters the plinth. He sees a halfling man nearby, dark-haired and familiar to us.
Yeah, Ash kneels kind of off to the side by a coughing man. Under his breath, he murmurs something. I think maybe he's casting a spell or saying a prayer. Presses a few fingers on a man's chest, closes his eyes for a moment, and the man's coughing eases just a bit. Ash stands, starts to throw his bag over his shoulder, wipe off his hands, and starts to wander off.
You always leave before they can thank you.
Ash stops and turns to look at Victor.
Victor steps out from a shaded pillar near the side entrance. He has taken off his armor, but is still unmistakably upright and proud. Tyr's holy symbol gleams faintly at his collar.
Yeah, usually works better if I leave first.
You track that kidnapper through these wars without leaving a footprint, but gods forbid you accept a thank you.
You were the one that took him down. I just pointed the way.
Still won't take the credit.
Eh.
You've come here a lot lately.
There's always somebody who needs a little less pain.
I heard about the widow in the southern ward. Was that you?
Ash nods. She's breathing easier now.
I know you don't talk much about what you're after, and I won't ask, but if you ever need another set of shoulders or a sword,
I'll find you. And after a moment, Ash breaks contact and tosses his bag over his shoulder, and starts to head towards the steps.
Ash,
Ash pauses and turns again.
you do good work.
So do you. Ash will nod and turn to head off.
Yeah, Ash walks off into the city haze. Victor watches him go, then turns to offer water to a tired priest. He turns to dip the cup into a nearby water fountain once again. In the rippling water, we see the sky through a window high in the plinth. Just beginning to show the faintest orange of evening at the edges as we ourselves move down into that rippling water, and a shimmer as the water becomes the window itself to our view. We exit, now rising into the sky above Waterdeep once more, moving quickly northwest to a well-appointed estate in the Sea Ward. Through a spotlessly clean window on the second floor of the manor, we see a woman standing before 3 children who are seated at a desk in the lavish room with fine carpets on the floors and walls lined with bookshelves, most of which are full. The children look at the woman with varying degrees of attention. Stuff, will you please describe your character, how she looks, and what she is doing and saying?
Absolutely. So Tav is quite tall, actually, for a half-elf. She is about 5'10", has medium brown hair in waves, although when she's teaching, she keeps it in a braid to keep it out of her way, because these children are boisterous. She has bright golden eyes and golden scales on her cheeks and temples. She teaches in practical robes, but that are stylish. She seems to be interested in the fashion of Waterdeep, preferring slate blue and ash gray colors, velvet. Always neat and modest, but a touch of gold embroidery here and there. She can't help herself but want to adorn. And she also wears a golden necklace around her, or golden locket around her neck. And she is just finishing up a lesson with all 3 of the children on draconic lore and language.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so they beg her for a story, and she says, "All right, fine, I'll tell you a story." Long ago, in the verdant expanse of the Silver Marches, where moonlight dances upon leaves and magic lingers in the air, there dwelled a dragon unlike any other, Valamarades, the dragon queen of Silvery Moon. Beside her was her mate, Desildarendon, a silver dragon with a heart nearly as large as his wingspan. From Moonwood to the High Forest, they nurtured the land, ensuring balance and prosperity for all its inhabitants. Together, they danced the winds of Faerun as soulmates, their gold and silver scales spiraling in perfect balance for over 1,000 years. But then came the year of the rogue dragons, when an ancient madness stirred once more. The rage of dragons came like wildfire through the skies, and even the mightiest could not resist its pull. And so it was, with the deepest cruelty, that a curse twisted the love of 2 dragons that had lasted over 1,000 years. The 2 ancient worms met above the Evermore Way, beneath a burning sky painted by wild magic. Desildarendon struck first, a torrent of frost that split the tree line below. Valamarades retaliated with a blinding ray of gold. Maddened by the rage, their claws clashed and breath flared in the sky above the Moonwood. The kids are sitting there ah! Moonwood villagers below wept as their 2 great protectors tore through the clouds, unaware of what they were doing, hearts twisted by this curse. It was a war of attrition, which made the deepest incisions. And it might have ended in tragedy, if not for the arrival of Illustrio Silverhand, the High Lady of Silvery Moon, one of Mistress Chosen 7. How she stopped them, none know for sure. Some say it was the magic of her voice alone which broke the rage's grip. Whatever the truth, Illustrio prevented a tragedy that day, and in gratitude, Valamarades and Desildarendon pledged anew to guard the Silver Marches. To this day, Balamarade still watches from her floating mountain, wise and distant, while Desildarendon walks among the people, learning their needs. And let this be the lesson we learn from their story, children. What was woven in wrath can be unraveled by grace. Grace does not erase pain, but it can untangle the knots that pain leaves behind. All right, that's all for today. Don't forget your comparison chart of chromatic and metallic dragon philosophies is due next 10 day, and no listing one burns villages and the other one doesn't. I won't accept that as a valid response.
Yeah, and all three of the children sort of grow into themselves as they write down their homework assignment. And as Tav leaves the children with their maid who enters the room, she makes her way through the halls of the well-appointed manor house and knocks respectfully at an ornate wooden door. After a short pause, she hears the resonant voice of a middle-aged man bid her enter. She sees a man with white hair and sort of ostentatious embroidered blue robe, who says, "Well, young Mistress Tav, how fared the lessons today? Did my children behave themselves?"
As well as can be expected, nothing I couldn't handle.
Well, very well. He sort of slides over a small sack of money and says, "Remember, you mustn't be too easy on them. They do need to live up to their reputation as nobles of House Eltorchel if they are to succeed in their futures in this city."
Understandably so, Lord. Thank you so much. I bid you a good day.
And Tav takes the small sack containing her jiggling coins and exits the Eltorchel villa down the pathway through the well-kept garden, the lawn, an extravagance in a city as densely populated as Waterdeep, until she reaches the wide avenue of Diamond Street, where she hails a hire coach, a small cart drawn by a single horse, whose driver sits on a raised seat behind the small canopy which overhangs the seat. The hire coach sets out and trundles its way cheerily from Diamond Street to Delzerin Street, then onto the wide avenue of the Street of the Singing Dolphin, before breaking off onto Darsaloon Street, following that smaller street until it reaches Joltoon Street, before cutting down Elverin's Lane briefly to reach Calamastir Lane, and finally turning off onto Sword Street and arriving at her destination, the front of Blackstaff Tower, an imposing edifice which stands out amongst the skyline of the castle ward. As she exits the hire coach, Tav looks around before spotting a man in a simple but well-kept purple robe, with swept-back brown hair and a short, neatly trimmed beard.
Professor Docarios, standing alone by a wizard tower at dusk. Suspicious behavior.
I'm awaiting a dangerous woman.
I hear she's not half as dangerous as her students.
Oh, let me guess. Oth tried to inscribe discipline and accidentally summoned an angry boot again.
Worse. He cast a shield spell on his desk and declared it sovereign territory. Thea attempted diplomatic relations with a sharpened quill.
I see. Were you able to successfully thwart a civil war within House Eltorchel?
By Mistra's grace, I negotiated a ceasefire in exchange for licorice.
You're a born stateswoman.
I'm a glorified fire marshal with a background in draconic phonetics. Last week, Thea found a wand that summoned a minor elemental and set the family hamster on fire.
To be fair, that hamster had a darkness with him and around him even. Perhaps that was just the scorch marks.
The clocks of Neverwinter. I spend more time extinguishing rodents than teaching grammar.
Well, I think I've got just the thing to cheer you up. He pulls out some books, which he seems to have picked from Blackstaff's libraries. The title on the spine of one reads Fiendish Contract Law and Philosophy. The second reads Volo's Guide to Gastronomics.
Gail, you beautiful man. I could kiss you on the mouth right now if it wouldn't threaten to raise the eyebrows of all these nearby academics. Where did you find these?
Certainly can't scandalize the educated. And I have my secrets.
You keep your secrets and I'll keep mine. What's this one on gastronomy?
Ah, yes. Well, it's a rather interesting dive into culinary features of various cultures of Faerun. I thought perhaps it might give you some inspiration.
Oh, don't tell me you've grown tired of my blackened coal.
Well, I just thought you could use a little, opportunity to pick up something new.
Well, all this talk of cooking is making me rather hungry.
Ooh, is it time for our weekly round of Guess Which Tavern Bard is secretly a warlock? Or would you prefer to dabble in eavesdropping on hopper agents over hors d'oeuvres?
Tempting. But I promised myself I'd avoid any morally gray decisions that could lead to interfaction reprisals until at least the weekend.
Responsible. Very grown up. You'll ruin your reputation if you keep this up.
I'm hoping to confuse people so much they mistake me for someone who finds political intrigue boring. I know. How about we grab some roast duck from that street vendor near the yawning portal who hates me?
You mean the one who always pretends not to understand Draconic?
Yes, he understands it perfectly. He just hates me specifically, and I find that deeply motivating. I'm determined to win him over.
As the two begin to make their way through the streets, the evening sky deepens its colors through oranges and pinks to purples and blues, and then finally once again, to the twinkling of night in Waterdeep, which glitters like a jewel on the Sword Coast. We leave these two on their walk to turn our attention not to the dock ward, but to the eponymous docks themselves. We see a figure emerging from a small circular window in the attic of a warehouse on Dock Street, to clamber up onto the roof before using a sturdy metal rain gutter to swing down onto the darkened streets. Here, in this part of the dock ward, the twinkling lights of the candles and the street lamps, or the continual flame of the city watch, have all been snuffed or stolen, and darkness takes the streets. Few figures once again furtively slink and slither, and I'm just now realizing this music is back to being wrong again. 1 second, everyone. Well, I remember to switch it. Let's see. Few figures once again furtively slink and seemingly slither hither and thither in the dense darkness, broken only by the occasional sliver of golden light intruding into the dark domain of the dockward lanes. The figure fits right in amongst those who glide through the darkness. Foxy, will you please describe your character for us?
Absolutely. So as coming out into the group of people, lowers his hood, you see this flush of absolutely beautiful pale pink hair and piercing purple eyes as a high elf, dressed almost as though trying to stay inconspicuous. Purple eyes darting left and right, watching carefully, holding tight to his items as he gets ready to move along his night.
The figure overhears a conversation and slips behind some nearby crates, now emptied of the goods they once brought into the city from one of the many massive ships in the harbor, and awaiting their turn to be reloaded into the hold of a nearby vessel. Well, now, we're just about done unloading the lot. Next, we have that Kalimshan vessel on Dock 13. We're pulling more cargo off the back of that one. It looks like some fancy exports for those silver spoon fools from the seaboard if I didn't know any better. Shh! Come on, man. You know better to yap on like that. About what's in the cargo, you never know who might be listening. With this, the figure begins to make its way back along the docks, before seeing his target, a vessel moored at Dock 13. Several figures move across its deck, loading and unloading heavy crates. The figure furtively darts from shadow to shadow along the dock before tucking along behind two figures carrying a large crate onto the deck. In a precise instant just before the lamps on the deck would illuminate him, the figure slips into the shadowed stairs leading down into the hold of the ship. From there, he snakes his way through the crates and barrels and boxes deep into the hold of the ship until he finds what he's looking for. A small set of crates and boxes set apart from the rest. He begins to open one of the crates. The wood groans as he pries it upward. We see him grimace at the noise and look furtively around. Nothing. No one. The coast is clear. With a sigh, he looks into the crate and sees several small boxes packed in straw. He takes and opens one. Inside are several glittering jewels. He slips the small box into a bag and begins to go for another when we hear footsteps. He hastily closes the crate again before retreating into the shadow once more. He makes his way back the way he came, off the ship and onto the dock, and then back into the comfort of the alley. As he continues to move through the dark streets, we hear in the distance the sound of drunken, off-key singing. The figure makes his way towards the noise and finds a few men stumbling through the street, leaning on one another, reeling back and forth, clearly inebriated. As the drunken men move past the figure, no longer lurking in the shadows, but now walking calmly in the middle of the street, they stumble into the slight elven figure, and all of them stagger for a moment as the elf tries to steady them. As he helps them back upright, our eyes are drawn to a fluid and smooth motion as the elven man deftly slices a hole in the bottom of one of their purses, empties the contents into his own bag, and then we see a soft mote of magical light emit from his fingers as he pinches the hole he just cut closed again with a mending cantrip. All of this unnoticed by the intoxicated revelers who continue to lurch and sing, as the elven figure admonishes them to watch where they're going before turning off on his own once more. He rounds a nearby corner and then shimmies up another sturdy rain gutter on the side of a warehouse and dips back into the darkness as we lose sight of him. We see the lights of the city glittering once again in the distance as we move north. The farther north we go, the more well-lit the streets, and the more people roam about, many inebriated as the ones we left behind. However, we come to rest in an alley once more. The alley is damp with salt air and shadow, tucked between tall buildings. A faint drizzle hushes the cobblestones now. From somewhere deeper, voices, guards, sailors, both?
Yeah, and once again, we see Ash. Slowly walking down the street, calmly, kind of keeping to the shadows on the side where they're deeper. His gaze stays forward, he's steady but alert. As he gets to the end of the street, he stops, takes a moment, quietly watching, takes a quick note in his notebook, then tucks it away again. Just leans against the wall to continue watching activity in the nearby area.
And a moment later, another familiar figure drops from a low rooftop and lands with a graceless thud right in front of Ash as they nearly collide.
Oh, hey, are you hurt?
Just my pride.
Ash takes a look at him for a minute. He's wet-winded, coat lumpy with something underneath, probably stolen. Jingling a little bit. Boat job?
Briefly. Mostly just some jewelry, a box. It's a very stealable box. I would have made it clean if someone hadn't come back for their hat.
You were almost caught?
Almost, but I wasn't. Besides, you work rooftops too. Mine just happened to come with souvenirs.
I don't take what's mine.
Right. You just watch warehouses and make terrifying little maps in charcoal.
From the end of the alley, a pair of voices bark orders. Sound coming closer, boots splashing through the mud.
Yeah, Ash grabs Zylander's arm and pulls him into the narrow gap between the buildings, kind of hiding under some hanging laundry, throwing his cloak in front of them, slinking into the shadows.
Yeah, they vanish into those shadows just as two guards jog past, muttering, where is he? Oh, I know he's around here somewhere. Before they continue to jog through the alley into the street beyond.
You're alarmingly good at that.
You're alarmingly loud.
And yet, here we are. As I adjust my coat and small velvet pouch falls out as I quickly grab it off the ground.
Yeah, Ash sees it and checks it out. He's planning to sell?
Planning to eat. And maybe pay back the kid who showed me the harbor schedule.
Oh, the one behind the broken tavern sign?
Yeah, skinny, fast, knows who to avoid. Reminds me of someone.
Ash nods and gives him a half smirk. And then starts walking off.
Zylander follows casually, like he's always been walking next to him. So what were you doing here?
Following a mark. Watching patterns.
Vague. Mysterious. I approve.
I wasn't expecting company.
Well, no one ever expects a handsome distraction.
And Ash doesn't answer, but he definitely has a smirk on his face as he just keeps walking.
You ever need a second set of eyes, or hands, or a rooftop exit?
If I need someone followed through a cabbage cart, I'll call you.
It was one time.
You're lucky I was here.
Yeah, I know.
And with that, they just wander into the night.
Yeah, they disappear into the night, steps soft on stone. Behind them, the city exhales. Unaware, it nearly caught a whisper in the dark. We, on the other hand, move over the darkened dock ward until we reach a well-lit and lively tavern. A large 3-story building with a bright red roof. We make our way inside and we see a tap room full to the brim with colorful and interesting individuals. And once again, this music is totally wrong and I have to change it. Clearly this is... I need to write where I need to do this in my notes for the future. Let's see. What's a good one? This. Alright, let's try this one. No, that's terrible. Okay, we'll go back to this one. That'll do it for now. Alright. We, on the other hand, now move into this tavern with it we see the tap room full to the brim with colorful and interesting individuals. This tavern seemingly caters to Waterdeep's more adventurous population. And indeed, adventurers of all flavors find their penchant for potable potations slaked within these walls. In the center of the lowest floor of the tavern is a ring of a stone wall, about waist high, with a wooden contraption extending out over the center of the hole like a massive bucket over an enormous well. At a nearby table, we see a small crew of familiar faces seated with one another. Party, would you please describe your characters as you sit at this table? Who are you next to? Do you have a drink? Do you have food? What do you say to your compatriots?
Tav is sitting. Good.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about it.
Yeah, Tav is sitting there playing their usual game of Guess the Warlock. And she's gonna lean over to Gale and she'll say, pointing at oh gosh, I just forgot his actual name. It's not Elfie.
Zylander.
Zylander.
Here we go.
Number one.
Uh-oh.
Should we start a tally and see how many times we do it?
And she points over at Zylander and she goes, I don't think he's a current warlock. Something tells me in a past life he was. What kind of patron do you think? Archfey or Janie?
Ooh. I'm going to say this time, perhaps one of those Far Realm patrons.
He does seem far and mysterious. All right, I'm bored. Let's play Truth, Dare.
I don't think that's the name of the game. He sort of looks around at the rest of you for some help.
Just for clarification, we're all at the same table?
Yes, you are all at the same
Okay.
table.
So yeah, Victor's got himself a pint, and he's just sitting there and he's just wearing what he normally wears, and it's just kind of listening to what everybody else is talking about right now, and that's about all he's doing right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Ash will probably be there sitting between Victor and Zylander, assuming they're close enough together. Yeah, kind of definitely much smaller than either of the two of them, so not coming up very high, but we'll definitely have a mug of ale in front of him, just sitting there quietly for the most part, but paying attention to everything going on, both at the table and in the rest of the room.
Zylander would be sitting in the farthest corner possible, in between Ash and... I almost did it. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm not. Ash and Victor.
Gotcha.
Back against the wall, chair, just gently underneath, kind of just watching and making sure that they aren't in any sort of danger, while gently smirking over in Ash's direction as he jingles the jewelry that's in his pocket nervously.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think in response to the plea of help, best not ask me. Games aren't my specialty.
All right, I suppose. Truth, there it is. And as Gale sort of admits defeat on this strange game, we do hear the sounds of gamblers here yelling and drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs, nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. However, at that moment, all of the noise is eclipsed by a shout. "You pig! You like killing me mates, does ya?" And you then see, across the room, a 7-foot-tall half-orc woman is hit directly in the face by a wild haymaker thrown by one of the several individuals who are surrounding the table she is at. This wild swinging punch comes from a male human whose head is shaved and is covered with eye-shaped tattoos. Several other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc sort of like rubs her jaw, cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see if blood is drawn, a crowd of spectators clutters around the brawl. Party, what would you like to do?
Ash is gonna leap up onto the table so I can see what's going on over everybody.
Okay, yeah, you leap up onto the table to get a good look.
Zylander quickly pulls one of his daggers out of its sheath, just ready for any sort of danger that's about to come.
Okay. I don't know that we're gonna need that or not, but
And Ash knows Victor is probably gonna beeline to it, so if he does, he's following.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Victor stands up very quickly and runs over to potentially try to stop it, if he must.
okay, yeah. I mean, from what you can see, it is kind of hard to tell. They do appear to be pretty seriously brawling, but no one's drawn weapons yet.
Okay.
But if anyone does want to get involved, we can roll initiative and you can jump in, or you guys can just wait and see what plays out. It is up to you.
I'm going to take a quick glance over at the, I forgot his name, but the guy who owns the tavern.
Durnan, yeah.
Durnan, to see if he looks concerned or
Yeah, Durnan, who I guess I'm going to show everyone who Durnan is. Stand by. Pretty sure I have a thing for him. Yeah, there we go. Durnan. He is a middle-aged man with sort of messy black hair, kind of a like Motorhead sort of mustache into chops situation going on. He has thick, powerful forearms. He is sort of slinging drinks and does not seem particularly concerned about this little fray. I think you would all get the sense that as a bar that caters almost exclusively to adventuring types, that this sort of occasional, throwing down is not that far outside the realm of what happens here on a pretty regular basis. And he doesn't seem to get involved unless somebody draws steel.
Yeah.
As
in
it
that case,
were.
Tav is just gonna sit back and say, "Ooh, dinner and a show."
Yeah, us noticing Zylander would sheath his weapon and kind of follow up closely behind Ash as they head over to the
Yeah.
brawl.
Okay, so who all is getting involved?
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm assuming right there is where the brawl's happening.
Yes, the brawl is happening directly across the room from you guys.
Okay, so yeah, as far as I go, as I was saying, I got pretty close to him.
Okay.
Just waiting to see if any, based off of what you said, waiting to see if there's any steel drawn. If there is,
Sure.
I'm gonna definitely step in and stop it.
Okay, so that's Victor. Ash, you said you're going with Victor and Zylander as well. Tav and Varith staying at the table.
Yeah, Ash will kind of leap tables so we can still see as he's going to get his way across there. But he's not going right in. He's kind of staying behind to support Victor if needed.
Yeah.
And I can't see anything in Roll20 right now.
Oh, okay. Did I not give your character vision? I did not give your character vision. That's why. How about now?
It's all theater of
That
the
we're
in a
mind.
bar.
Let's update that default token so that doesn't happen again. Can everybody else? Is everybody else seeing?
Yeah,
Fine?
I can
Okay.
see it.
Well, I was bound to make at least one mistake here. Okay, well, those of you who are over there, now that you're a little closer, what you can see is that the half-orc woman does appear to be about to win her fight against the singular individual that she is fighting. However, I would like everyone to please make me an insight check.
Inside. Give me 1 second. I haven't used Roll20 for this, so gotta look for it. Oh, never mind. Here it is.
And I'll say
Alright.
you three that are over there, yeah, you can have advantage on this. Because
Oh, okay.
you're, like, close enough to really see what's going on.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just roll again and see what happens.
Yeah. I
15.
have no idea how to do this in Roll20.
Ah, okay, so...
Holy moly!
You rolled a lot of inside there, Bo.
yeah, so in Roll20, you, it's set up pretty much
Oh,
like
I
a
clicked
normal
it a bunch
sheet.
of times.
Oh, yeah. You click when the word turns red and you click it, it'll roll.
Okay.
And you right click it for advantage or disadvantage, I assume, right?
It pretty
How
much
would you-
auto rolls advantage or disadvantage, and we just take whichever one is relevant. So you'll see that
okay.
it rolled twice for everybody. If you don't have advantage, we just take the left number. If you do have advantage or disadvantage, we'll pick the appropriate one. The reason we do it that way, it looks confusing at first, but the reason we do it that way is otherwise it pulls up this pop-up every time you roll something and asks you, and sometimes the pop-up gets hidden behind your sheet and like it doesn't, it's easier this way. With that, Zylander's got a 15, Victor's got a nat 20 for 23, and Ash has a 21. What about Tav? You're looking at, okay, that's 15.
Vareth
And
rolled a
Vareth
20.
at a 20. Okay, I think that's high enough for all of you to really notice this. So everybody can pretty much tell that the other 4 individuals are gearing up to gang up on this lady if she wins the fight. But that if you guys can split them up, you might be able to, like, stop it from getting to that point. Or you can just let it play out. But what's going to happen is, if she knocks the leader out, the rest of them are going to basically curb stomp her. And there's enough of them to probably do it.
Yeah.
I think that Vareth says to everybody left at the table, "Your pet paladin's about to get involved."
Yeah, Victor's gonna come up to this one right here,
Okay.
and he's just gonna kind of grab him on the shoulder and be like, and just say, "Best not to get involved," and try to, and just pull him back a little bit.
Okay. Is this an intimidation or a persuasion check?
More of a persuasion.
Okay. Yeah, make a persuasion check. I'm going to say disadvantage on this.
Do you know how to roll disadvantage on this?
You just click it and it'll auto roll twice and we'll take the lower number.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. 7.
Ooh,
That one.
7. Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative. He's going to take a swing at you.
Oh, dang it.
And yeah, we're going to kick it off, gang.
7.
Okay, I got to grab these guys. 1 second, everybody. Boop. Boop. Let's go ahead and grab her as well. Okay. All right. So anyone that's planning to get involved at this point, you can all kind of tell. Let's throw this maybe down here. You can all kind of tell what's about to happen as Victor walks in and sort of like taps this guy and says something to him. He turns around and goes for a swing. Nobody has drawn steel yet. It seems like more of a fist fight situation. And anyone who wants to roll initiative, just let me know when you're all done. Or I guess let's do it this way. Ash, are you getting involved?
Yep. I
Okay.
just rolled.
Vareth, are you getting involved?
Oh Jesus. I say put me in initiative.
Okay. All right. Go ahead
I
and
will
roll
roll
it.
for it. Yeah.
Tav.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so that's Victor, Ashvareth, and Zylander. Are you getting involved?
You said this is a fist fight situation?
Yes.
Zylander is not going to get involved. Zylander does.
Classic.
Fair
Excellent.
fights are not Zylander's cup of tea.
All right.
And he's not very strong.
Okay. So that puts us in an. Oh, I only rolled for one of these guys. I'm gonna.
That's okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll for him, and we'll just have all these guys go at the same time, rather than roll a bunch of rolls, except for the one guy who has a name. Okay. So as things sort of start to pop off, Vareth, you have the first initiative as things go. You can jump up and run over there or stay where you are. At this point, it's up to you. What would you like to do?
Okay. I feel like he kind of curses to himself and stands up and does start to move that way.
Okay.
And I think we'll take this. Let me double check my speed just as a... Yeah, it's 30, I thought, so...
And just so everybody understands, I think I described this, but this big thing in the middle of the room is a giant stone pit with like a rickety wooden thing leaning over it. So you can't go directly through the middle. You got to go around.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually will use my action to dash. And we're going to get, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Get in a position right here.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. That brings us to the half-orc woman who... Oh, that's the same thing. I'm an idiot. Okay, she is going to take a swing at the man. Which I guess she is... Okay, we're going to use this, even though that's a 15 to hit. I'm pretty sure that's going to hit. Yes. Okay, so she is going to deal exactly 3 points of damage, which does in fact knock this guy unconscious. So he reels as she hits him. And dang it, I gotta do this. We're gonna use that for oh no, we're gonna use this one. So she hits him and he teeters and falls to the ground, and the others all crack their knuckles and begin to swarm, except for the one that's turned to Victor. Tav.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I suppose that Tav is going to, I don't know where the door is, but she is going to go ahead and cast Minor Illusion to make the sound of the City Watch war horn.
Okay.
See if that distracts some folks.
Sure. Yeah, so the I can draw here. The door to the outside is over here. There is a back door up here.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
those
think
are the
she's
doors.
close enough to the back door that she would probably make it sound like it's coming
Okay.
from the back door.
Yeah, go ahead, I guess, and make a performance check.
Sure.
Or no, this is deception. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Okay, perfect. That's even better. Will a 22 do?
Yeah, 22 does. So, let's see. I'm going to roll counterclockwise from the north an insight check for these guys. They'd have to crit, honestly. Yeah, they all fail. So they do think that the watch is coming. I'm gonna roll a constitution check to see who gets scared and runs. Okay, of them, let's see. Makes it, fails it, makes it, fails it, makes it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this guy makes it. This guy fails it. Okay, so the one fighting Victor fails. That guy's unconscious. And this one makes it, this one fails it. Okay, so these two, I'm gonna put a little symbol on them. What's good for fear?
The face of Tav. Just kidding.
This will do. Okay, so this one and this one get afraided, which they will do stuff about on their turns. Anything else from Tav?
Nope. I think she's gonna continue to sit right where she is.
Okay. Ash, that is up. You are up. You can tell that the one that started to get into a fight with Victor hears what he thinks is the City Watch, which you might also think is the City Watch. I don't know. That's up to you. And this one and this one seem about ready to break and run. Anything you would like to do?
Yeah, Ash is going to cast Produce Flame, not attacking any of the individuals, but just kind of trying to hit the ground right in the middle of them and yell, "Knock it off."
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a spell attack roll.
They all look at their feet like, "Where'd that from?"
Did that get
14.
there you
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Make an intimidation check, and we'll give you advantage from the Produce Flame. With a good attack roll there.
Let's see. Intimidation. That's not something I'm good at. I did click it.
All right, 16. All right, well, we'll kind of do the same thing
Doing
here.
pretty good.
We'll make a Constitution check to see how brave these lads are. Okay, that is a failure. That guy's unconscious. This guy also succeeded. That is also a failure. Okay, so with this, I think we reach a point where basically all of them have thought better of this little situation. So the 4 bandits are going to, at this point, kind of grab their unconscious friend. They sort of shove the half-orc woman who is continuing to try to punch them, but they basically like take it, kind of disengage, like shove her, and turn and start to run away. Victor, you have a turn before they'll actually get to accomplish any of this. Anything you want to do, but as they start, you can basically tell they're about to break and run. Anything you do in the meantime?
Oh, sorry, was that for me?
Yeah, you're up.
My bad.
So yeah, basically they're about to break and run. Is there anything you want to do?
No, I'm basically gonna be like, just tell them, go on, get out. You guys don't need to be in here right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, with that, they are going to all break and make for the door. Before disappearing into the night. And that takes us out of initiative. So, yeah, and as they go, you hear Dernan from behind the bar say, and stay out! And you all see the half-orc woman who kind of like sits back down at her table, sort of like, she's taken some hits. She's a you could tell a good fighter, certainly been in this kind of brawl before, but she's, taken quite a few punches, kicks, etc. As she sits back down.
Victor's just gonna go up to her, and just ask her if she's okay, and also is gonna do lay on hands for her.
Okay.
I can figure out
Yeah.
how to cast it.
Let's see. I think you kind of just decide how many points you're giving,
Oh, okay.
and then you take it out of your total there. If you see the word lay on hands in your, like, what's this, your traits and stuff, if you put your mouse over it, there'll be like a little gray or whatever kind of quote box looking thing.
Mhm.
If you put your mouse on that and it turns red, it'll put the text of the ability into the chat if you need for us to see that for some reason. Other than that, you basically just say, I'm casting lay on hands, and subtract it from your lay on hands total.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna do lay on hands. Not, I mean, I've only got 5, but I'll do like 3 points of
Okay.
lay on hands.
Yeah, so you see some of the wounds close up, and she says, yeah, I'm all right. Oh. He packs quite the punch for a little guy. Oh.
It's like, well, glad you pulled through. You really did a number on that one, though.
That's what I get, yeah. Ugh.
Well, I can't heal you much, but I'll give you what I got.
Yeah, and so around this time, you see the barmaid sort of is making her rounds and swings by, and the half-orc woman sort of gestures her over and says, kind of points at the table you guys were sitting at and says, hey, Bonnie, why don't you get these folks around on me for helping out?
I'm just gonna say, thanks, miss. I think I'll head back over to the table.
Yeah, just a clarification question. Were
Yeah.
we able to identify the ruffians? Is there anything that gave away who they are?
Let's see. I think in this situation, Vareth and Xylandor can make a history check.
Oof, okay. Oh wow! All right.
15 for Vareth.
Okay.
7.
That is a 7. Okay. Yeah, Vareth, you sort of recognize the tattoos on the bald one that got into the fight in the first place. You suspect he is associated with the Xanathar's Guild.
All right. Well, Tav or Ash didn't know that, so he's
Yeah.
gonna wander up to Bonnie and just say, "What was that all about?"
Oh, sorry. Bonnie is the barkeep.
Oh, sorry.
Yagra is the woman.
Yeah, sorry, meant Yagra.
Yeah. And she says, I don't really know. He said something about killing his mates, but that could be anybody.
Why'd he fight you over that?
Well, I think he was accusing me,
Oh, of
which
killing
I don't
his
know. It's
mate?
possible.
Who's he work for? Who are his mates?
Beats me.
Oh, so he knows you, you don't know him, that kind of thing.
Must be.
Oh, you must be pretty popular.
I've been known to piss off a lot of people in my time, yeah.
Outside of bar fights?
Inside of bar fights, outside of bar fights, street brawls, some light mercenary work.
Well, I don't know if I should avoid you or make sure you're on my side.
I don't know, flip a coin, little man.
All right. Well, thanks for the ale. All right, he'll just gotta head back to the table.
I think noticing that Ash is headed back towards the table, Zylander kind of just like walk up to her and be like, I knew you could have you'd had that all on your own.
Hey, I don't know. There was a lot of them little guys. Of course, I guess compared to me, just about everybody's a little guy.
Exactly. He's gonna like kind of like pat her on the hip because
Yeah.
she's sitting down, right? Or
Yeah.
she's standing up.
Right. No, she's sitting down now. She's kind of
She's
like
sitting
sat
down.
back at the table and sort of like, rubbing. She's got like her own flagon of ale, which is relatively cool, and she's like holding it on the side of her head where she's been punched.
He's gonna just kind of like tap her on the shoulder and be like, "Well, good fight regardless. Nice to see you still got it."
Yeah. Hey, what about you? What you been up to?
You know, here and there, taking what's necessary, leaving what's not.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I ain't sneaky enough for all that, though, so I gotta do it a little different myself, as we all have just borne witness.
Oh yeah, no, you can definitely take care of yourself. I'm gonna head back over, but just know, I believed in you.
Hey, I appreciate that.
And then Zylander's gonna head back over to the table and be like, and then he's gonna like turn around halfway there and be like, and whispers like, "Did you get ale for me too? I was sitting over there."
I don't know what was brought out.
She says, oh, I know better than not to grease your little palm.
Lady after my own heart, truly. If only a lady could.
If I wanted your heart, I'd go through your ribs, buddy.
Zylander's just gonna chuckle and be like, you always know how to talk to a guy, you know?
Yeah, and you guys make your way back over to your table.
Tab had, after she saw that everything was kind of cleared up with the brawl, she made her way over, noticed Jalister sitting at the bar, and scooted on over to him.
Yeah.
Evening, sir.
Oh, hello. Fancy seeing you here.
I know. You know, it's always so curious when the watch seems to just blow their horn but never actually enter the door, huh?
It was a little odd. I half wonder if you had a bit of a hand in that, your little arcane tricks.
Me? Never.
I find that hard to believe.
Look, while I have you, I just wanted to say, you don't have to say anything, but, you know, if, you wanted to talk about anything, I know I'm not too familiar with you, however, if you ever want somebody who's willing to just listen, not fix, not solve, not judge, I'd listen to you.
He sort of turns and gives you a speculative look and says, and what's brought this on then?
Oh, you know, some nights staring up at the stars with Gale, and we get carried away wondering what are the inner workings of our dear friends. I don't have too many in this area, but you seem sad, more often than not, and, well, it came up that perhaps it wasn't always this way. But Gale, of course, uses discretion and wouldn't give me details, but all I can say is I know for myself, sometimes it's easier to carry the weight with someone else.
Make an insight check.
Ooh, that's cool. What is her insight like? Oh, not bad. All right, let's try it. Come on. 14.
Yeah, it's a close thing, but you do sort of like catch a little bit of a like crack in his kind of facade of just sort of like enjoying himself and getting a drink. It just sort of like briefly passes before he recollects himself and says, well, I don't know, I might take you up on that then. Sometime.
Fair enough. What you drinking?
He says, well, Durnan's not known for his wide selections of wine, is he? And Durnan says, hey, don't push it, buddy. So Gillester says, ale it is.
And she's going to order another ale for both herself and Gale and Jalister.
Can we overhear that conversation from the table?
Yeah, you guys aren't that far away, but the place is noisy. But I think if you think your character would have been paying attention to what Tav is doing over there, then yes.
All right. Well, Ash will just raise a mug and say, "Hey, Durnan, the ale's great."
Yeah, and Durnan says, "Damn straight." Okay, we are
If I
getting
could
some
interrupt for just a
inspo,
second. Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Skynet, you got yours. Foxy, you were just granted chat inspiration. Pixel, I was going to bring up, I
wow.
don't think you added a thing like we had in Curse of Strahd for chat inspiration yet. Did we not have like a specific tab on our character
Oh,
sheets
yeah,
previously?
I can do that real quick.
Okay. Not to put you on the spot, but
no,
I did
you're
notice
good.
that
That
it
is
was not there.
yep. Okay, you have one there, Vareth.
I made one
yeah.
on the fly.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I'm cool to just keep using, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah,
Stand
Skynet,
by,
Foxy,
everyone.
and myself just was inspiration from chat. So.
Nice.
Find it.
Okay.
I need to refresh my sheet then, right? If you're adding it now.
Possibly, but I haven't gotten to yours yet. I don't think.
Oh, just kidding. Never mind.
Well, Tab was going to say, Durnan, I respect you too much to lie. It's mediocre ale, but I'm also more of a wine person myself.
Oh Lord.
Jesus.
Everyone's a critic.
I was having flashbacks.
Okay.
Which one?
Exactly.
Look, Caitlin's not eating grass, okay? Or I mean, Tab's not eating grass, all right? We're starting off
Whatever
wrong.
my name is.
Yeah, I don't even know who I am. Who am
Damn.
I?
Okay, I think I've got chat inspiration boxes set up on everybody. It'll be on the right side of your sheet, in between your bonus and flaws and your features and traits. So hopefully that's on there for everybody.
Wait, but my flaws are empty, so, you know.
Oh,
So,
well, we
you know,
all
we'll-
can't be perfect.
We'll fill them in. I mean,
Actually,
you can
no, I
start
actually
by
can't find the
putting
flaws.
you can put critic in there.
I'm joking. I
Kind of
just
an
don't know
ass
where
to
it is.
Durnan. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
right?
definite flaw.
How is honesty being an ass? Damn, remind me not to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah. So Ash, you say that. Tav says that. Durnan responds. Anything else anybody says or does with their yawning portal-friendly faces before we carry on with things?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get my hat. I think that after Ash comes and sits down next to Vareth, he quietly says, "So, what did the Xanathar fellas want with Yargra?"
The thugs?
Yeah.
They, I guess accused her of killing their mates, but she didn't seem to know them, so I don't know what's going on there. You know those guys?
Hmm.
Yeah, now that you mention it, they did kind of look like they were part of Xanathar. In the moment, I didn't really notice, but yeah, that
What
you
gives it
mention
away?
it.
Well, that is a quick way. Is it the tattoo specifically that gives that away? Pixel?
Yeah, the eye tattoos.
The tattoos, they dawn around their eyes.
Huh. All right. Noted.
Well, the tattoos aren't around their eyes. The tattoos are
Tattoo
of
of
eyes.
eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought I
It's fine.
misunderstood. My
Yeah,
bad.
basically his head was covered in like tattoos that were shaped like an approximation of eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the eyes.
All right. Well, that's not conspicuous, but or is conspicuous. Yeah. Oh.
I'm assuming Miss Uday is down here.
Yes.
Oh, all right. So Victor's gonna walk up to Uday and say, "Lady Uday, it's
Victor?
well to meet you here."
Yes, you've graced us with your presence once again.
Yeah. What brings you to the tavern tonight?
Oh, you know, a little of this, a little of that. As she raises her own drink.
Yeah. So Victor's gonna call out to Durnan, be like, Can I get a nail, please?
Yeah, he slides one over the bar, and Bonnie grabs that and brings it over to you. Sets it down in front of you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, he's gonna sip on it and just. I think for the most part, for this instance, he's just gonna make small talk with her. So, nothing too crazy to right now.
Yeah. So the two of you begin to chat a bit. And as you sit and chat, you all begin to hear. Stand by. Forgot that was even on. You all begin to hear shouts of alarm suddenly ring out as a hulking creature steps out of the shaft in the middle of the tap room. A monster with warty green skin, a tangled nest of wiry black hair, and long carrot-shaped nose and bloodshot eyes steps onto the rickety wooden shelf, having climbed up the side of this shaft. It bares its yellow teeth and howls, and as it does so, you can see that several strange little creatures appear to be stuck to its body.
Sounds terrifying.
A half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with a few more circling above it like flies.
Oh boy.
Hang on, I gotta move some stuff around here. 1 second. Gotta get everything where it belongs. Okay. Yeah, you can see that about half a dozen of these things are attached to the body, and several more are circling above it like flies. Everybody in the tavern reacts in fear, except for Dernan, who shouts, "Troll!" and springs into action. If everyone would please go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh my!
Nice.
Oh, yikes.
Yikes. Me too, buddy.
Dang. The barkeep got a good initiative.
Listen, don't fuck with Dernan.
Clearly.
Stand by 1 moment. Bloop. Okay. All right. Did everybody roll initiative? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's learning how to play combat as a rogue.
Okay, rule number 1. Don't be in front.
I know better on that
Speaking
one.
from experience, I promise.
All right. Now Dernan vaults over the bar and makes his way over to the edge of the pit after grabbing his massive greatsword off the bar behind himself. And he readies his sword for this thing to come within reach. At that point, let's see. Some of the creatures that are not attached to the troll begin to fly and make their way. I'm going to roll some dice. Two. All right, this one flies over and attempts to attach itself to Victor. So you see this, and I don't know if I have a good thing of this. I'll just make it big for everybody real quick. It is this horrifying little bug monster mosquito
Ooh.
thing. Yeah, fun times. Okay. No, don't do that. Come here. Okay, so one of these attempts to stab its little pointy beak into Victor. That is a 23 to hit. Damn.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Rob.
Okay. It deals 3 piercing damage to you, Victor, and it enters your space. And technically, these are all attached to this guy. So that guy's just kind of on there. Okay. All right. So they're doing their thing. Next guy also goes in that direction, but this one is going to go for Obaya.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
She's my one friend.
15 does hit. So Obaya takes a little bit of damage as this thing attaches itself to her. And then the last one. Okay, this one makes its way over towards Yakra.
Oh no, not my friend.
I suppose I gotta roll initiative for these guys. Now too, since I'm getting them evolved.
Thanks.
Ah, yes, just like your local metal show. Get involved.
I don't need that. No.
I need to know if you picked up some of the cabbages from that stand so we can start lobbing cabbages at him.
Okay, I've got Obaya. Do I have? I don't. Okay, Yakra.
What's the die on a cabbage?
The die on a cabbage attack?
Yeah, like what die would you roll for a cabbage damage?
Improvised weapon.
1.
D4.
Yeah. I mean, no, for a cabbage, 1+ strength mod. I don't even think it counts as an improvised weapon. If it was if it was frozen, I think maybe you'd get some more bludgeoning damage out of it. But... All right, and then this one's going after Yagra. 19 is for sure a hit. Okay. Damn, everybody's hitting.
We have a inspo for Tav.
Great.
Oh,
Thank you.
From Brad?
Oh my
Thanks,
god.
buddy. That's so nice.
Okay.
He must really think I'm a
All
guy.
right, that's
Oh,
that.
damn, one for
And
Ash.
Ace gave one to
That's them.
Jason.
Okay, that does bring us to Yagra. She is going to try to shove this thing off of her. Okay, that's a crit. Yeah, so she rips this thing off of her. Doesn't do any damage, but she does get it. Yanks it out and kind of throws it, and then it and then flies back. That brings us to Zylander.
Is it still within melee range of her?
Yes.
Okay. So I think I can do this. I just have to figure out how to do it in here. I should be able to use my hand crossbow with a whatever kind of attack. Is it sneak attack?
Yes. Yeah.
Sneak attack on the one that's on Yagra.
Right. So what you'll do, you'll click. I think you have a short bow, is it saying? Or do you have a hand crossbow in there?
I have a hand crossbow.
Okay, let me add that to your sheet.
Oh, it's on mine.
Well, it's not in there as an attack, so...
Oh, that's proficiency. Hold on, I'm sorry.
I mean, you can have a hand crossbow. It's fine. They're
Okay, I have a
not
hand
that
crossbow.
hard. Yeah, I added it.
Or a short bow, either one. I can use either one.
Did it not add it? I feel like I'm adding it too many times. Yeah, if you want to just go ahead and use the short bow for now, and then we'll take a
That's
look at
fine.
it after session.
I just was looking at the wrong sheet. So
Okay.
I'll use my short bow then, and I just click it, right?
Yes.
Oh, that changes the... Do I hit the 2? I don't know.
The two.
Just giving me an option to type.
Okay, so you click on just like the long.
Yeah,
or the
so
short-
what you do? Oh yeah, okay. So in the middle of your sheet. So if you scroll all the way up to the top of your sheet, in the middle you have like armor class, initiative, hit points, right? And then
yes,
under
see.
that is a set of attacks. If you click short bow there, 24 hits. And then so to roll damage, and I'm gonna click that for you. To roll damage, you're gonna click in chat where it says short bow. So not on your sheet, but into chat. In like the Roll20 chat, there's a word short bow there. Yeah.
So
Okay.
3 sneaking, 4 piercing.
7. Yeah, that is definitely going to kill that thing. So you shoot across just after this thing sort of flits back and squares up with Yagra. You shoot. It's about the size of like, it's about the size of a football, and you basically hit this thing with an arrow and kind of like pin it to the bench over near Yagra.
I think Zylander will yell out as he does it and be like, "I got you, mama!" And he's gonna like look back at this and kind of like use his movement to get behind us. Like, group over here.
All right, so just to check with chat, everybody has inspiration now, yes?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, so Zylander moves. You've taken a shot. That brings us to Vareth. You're up.
Okay, yeah. So he is going to. Excuse me, Jesus. He's going to take a few steps back. 5, 10, 15. I'd like to take cover behind the bar right here.
Okay.
And we are going to take a shot at some of these guys with a longbow. I probably would have, under different circumstances, attacked this one, but considering it's on Victor's face, excuse me, sorry. I guess I'm going to start trying to pick some of these smaller ones off of the troll proper. So just this one here would be
Okay, yeah, go for it.
18 hit.
18 hits.
For 6 piercing damage.
Okay, yep, that will... that will do it.
Well, I do think that's all for me. I do have a quick question about how cover works. But,
Yep, go for it.
Does this give me half cover? Like,
if you drop prone, it will give you full cover. If you stand with it covering half of your body, it will give you half cover.
okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with the half cover. I will have been, stood behind it and like shooting for back there. It's kind of my idea.
Okay, so you shoot, and you actually manage to staple the scourge to the troll with your arrow, and the troll does take a little bit of damage because.
Hey!
I was
we got
wondering
some,
that myself.
we got some
honestly.
overflow damage.
Okay, that brings us to Obaya. Obaya is going to cast Sacred Flame on the thing on her. It will do 1 radiant damage if this thing fails its dex save. Which it does not fail. So she tries to use Sacred Flame on this thing, and it pulls its beak back out and scrambles around her and dives it in again somewhere else. That brings us to the troll, who is going to, along with all of his little friends, step forward, triggering Durnan's attack, which he makes 4 attacks.
Whoa. May I remind you,
Don't fuck with Durnan.
Do not fuck with Durnan. Let's see.
Damn,
the
VP,
trolls,
did you know Durnan ahead of time?
the troll's armor class. Okay,
I remember
that is
the
a
first
15.
episode of Waterdeep,
Okay.
the original time.
Okay, that makes sense now. I was
Okay.
like, damn.
Now you gotta move him so I can click the right guy. Okay, so he takes 9 points of slashing damage. Okay, it did not roll in that 20. 13, I think, misses. Yes, it does. 21 hits for 11. 19 hits for 12. No. No. I screwed up. Shit.
No.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I gotta redo a bunch of math. Okay, we did that. And then we did that, right? That was the first one? No. Everyone's favorite part, math. That one missed. This is this. And then this is that. Okay. Okay, so he lays a bunch of heavy slashes into the troll. And then the troll begins to attack back. It's going to make a bite attack against Durnan. 11's going to miss. It's going to make 2 claw attacks against Durnan. I've got a, was it 25 and 18? Okay, 16. So both of those hit. The 2-claw attacks deal 16 damage to Durnan. Boop. Okay. Yeah, mighty battle over here. Victor, that's you.
He's fine.
I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be either.
Yeah, Victor is going to attempt to pull this thing off of himself.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and let me look at this thing. I think that's going to be an athletics check. To basically, shove it.
Is that the one? Is that athletics?
Yes, that is going to be
Got a 15.
15.
okay. And this thing's going to make one of these. That is a failure. Yeah, you were able to grab the scourge and pull it off of yourself. That does take your action, though.
Yeah, I figured.
Any movement?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move probably. I'm gonna move over here next to. Well, nah, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay. Ash, you're up.
All right. So how are Durnan and the troll looking?
They're both of them barely scratched.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is bad.
So Ash is gonna hop up.
Yeah,
on
they
the
are
table.
punching way above y'all's weight class.
Uh,
I mean, I would fit.
They're the heavyweight champions. We're Pee Wee League. You know what I mean?
all right.
This is how you truly get free drinks for life
T-ball.
right here. Just help.
So we're just gonna produce flame and attempt to burn the troll.
Woo!
Look at that crit, baby.
Look at that.
Damn.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
and-
and you roll damage by clicking where it says produce flame in chat. It should auto roll the crit damage for you as well.
Okay, there it goes. So 6 damage.
Yeah, 6 damage.
All right, and that's gonna be it.
Have you explained the your table crit rules for folks who may not know?
Let's talk about that in between sessions, and we'll decide if we want to use them.
Oh, gotcha.
It occurred to me that I had forgotten to bring it up at
Oh,
session
okay.
0. So
Never mind.
we'll put that on. Actually, I'm going to make that. Hang on. Where's. Stand
Ignore
by,
what
everyone.
I just said.
Did you say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just fly on the wall, bub. Fly on the wall.
Okay.
All right. Well, while everyone else is going, I'm gonna take the dog out. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. I also forgot to mention something that happens as Durnan begins to slash at this guy. Which he did twice. No, he hit this guy 3 times. Oh, jeez.
Oh, is that 3 more flies?
No.
Oh, thank God.
It's not a thank God.
Oh.
Because he cuts off this thing's limbs, which begin to crawl around the floor of their own volition. As trollish limb jumbles begin to do their thing.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
I was
where do they
personally glad
go?
that he
Okay.
didn't turn that around into a shambling mound, because that would have definitely fucked me up.
Yeah. We'll have those go next turn.
Ah,
Okay. Tav, you are up.
Yeah. I'm gonna move somewhere where I can do burning hands, which is a 15-foot cone. Do you mind throwing
Okay.
down what a 15-foot cone looks like? I'm new to how it looks visually.
Are you ready? I'm so ready.
Oh God.
You have 2
Of a
options for
folder.
15-foot cones.
Oh, okay.
Depending on if you do it diagonally or straight.
Interesting. Okay. Like I'm
Okay.
trying to. I think if I move here, then that kind of gets. I'm trying to basically not hit Durnan, right? But
Yeah.
like hit these guys. So.
Okay. So here are the options for 15-foot cones. If you see those, do you see the little target? That's where you stand.
Oh. Cool.
So if you are
Yeah.
here, you can get them all like that. If you
Nice.
are
Yeah, yeah,
here, you can not. You'd have. Let's see.
Yeah.
back.
No, I think I like the other one where
Yeah.
I'm cowering behind Durnan.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you could kind of get them either way, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Let
I'll
me.
do that. And then
Do I?
that is
Can
going
I?
to be, it is a
Okay, hang
dex. Oh, sorry. go.
on. Okay. Sorry, I do this thing. I have like a spell template sheet that has most of the 5e spell shapes that I might need, but then I do a thing where I grab the ones you guys actually have on your character sheets and put them on their own separate thing so that I have quicker access to them. I don't have to look for them on the big sheet as much. So, there we go. It's like every time you guys cast a new spell, I gotta take a second to make sure that works. Okay, great. Okay, that is all of the... I'm gonna say all of the ones that are on him are gonna get hit by this.
Okay.
So, that is a bunch. So he needs to make one, and then... 1, 2, 3, 4 Sturges, and 3 Limb Jumbles. Okay, so Troll first. Dexterity save, what's your spell save DC? 14. Okay.
14.
Fails.
Yes.
So he takes 9 fire damage.
And on a fail, if they fail it, it's still the half. Or sorry, if they succeed
Yes.
it's still half.
You know, with 9... Okay, all of the Sturges on him are killed by the half of that damage. And then it comes to the Limb Jumbles. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Fails, fails. No, fails, succeeds, fails. Okay. So all but one of the Limb Jumbles is taken out.
Excellent. And Tav is going to cower and run away. So
Okay.
hold on, she used to
I
get from here to here was 10
believe-
feet, and I get another 20 feet of movement from that.
I have some bad news for Tav.
Oh, don't tell me I'm in range.
It does
Troll has
have
reach.
10-foot
Yeah.
reach.
Damn. Oh no.
Ooh.
I have some good news for Tav. It only rolled a 9. Is your AC lower than 9?
No, thank heavens.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
so Tav gets to live.
That would have been bad.
Oh yeah, that would have been really bad.
But you have moved, so now you get to go wherever you were trying to go to.
20, 25. Where is it? God, I need to get. Where is the farthest away?
Run
Here, get out. I'm going over by Gelester. Gelester, buy me a drink. Or no, I'm gonna go. Can I reach actually where Varys at? Can I cower with Varys? Oh, no, I can't. That's too far. Nope, too far. I'll go
Yeah.
over with Gelester instead.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cower's rude.
I'm sorry. What?
I call it strategic placement.
Okay, yeah, Durnan, as you guys are getting involved, shouts, I'll handle the troll, y'all handle the little bugs. Once you're done with them, somebody get some lamp oil and let's light this thing up. And he is going to make his 4 weapon attacks.
Just like the beginning of Baldur's Gate. leave the leader
Yeah.
to me.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, let's see. 17 hits, 22 hits, 11
Actually a good
misses,
question, though.
15 misses. Okay, so... Okay, that hit for 9 damage. Boop. That did not create a limb jumble. That one missed. That one did hit for 11 damage, but that does create another limb jumble, baby! So, as he's hacking this thing off and it's regrowing limbs, the limbs that are falling off have a mind of their own. He makes his 4 attacks. Is that everything for him? Yes, it is. Okay, great. That brings us to the Sturges. The one that was on Victor is going to make another Proboscis attack.
Of course.
Proboscis
Damn.
attack.
Yep, that's a 19.
Damn.
So that hit. They were really
Yeah.
good today. Okay, so that does deal 3 more damage to Victor.
Thank goodness you're a paladin at least.
The one that is on Obaya that she did not manage to get rid of is going to drain her essence,
Oh great.
which deals 3 damage And she must make a Constitution save. 19 succeeds. Okay. And then the one on this one's dead. Yes, this one's dead. Okay. All right. With that, Yagra is going to dash across the room over to you guys to try to help out, but that takes her action. This limb jumble. Actually, both of the limb jumbles. I'm gonna roll just kind of a percentage check here. Okay, both of these things are just gonna go for Durnan as the closest living object that's not a troll. Lucky for you guys.
I agree.
Uh, 11 and an 18. Neither one of those hits Durnan. Zylander, you're up.
Jesus, what is his AC? Okay.
What is
Well-
Durnan's AC?
16. I was a hypothetical.
It's a 16. He's got elven chainmail under his tavern shirt.
Oh. Hot.
Fancy.
Durnan used to be a high-level adventurer, and then he opened a bar.
Oh, and then he took an arrow to the knee. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't fuck with her.
Where on my character sheet does it say how much movement I get?
Top center.
30. Okay.
You're an elf, yeah, so you'll have 30.
I can't see if that's. Oh wait. There.
You can also treat diagonals as 5 feet.
Even the bar?
You'd have to like vault over the bar if you wanted to go that way, or it's difficult terrain. But
Oh. Okay.
but what
If
I'm
it's difficult
saying
terrain, I
is
can
that
do
what I'm saying is if you go that is like, you know, fine.
Okay.
like-
Okay.
But whatever
You
you
say a lot of
however you
movement
would
that
want
way.
to move, it's just, and I know that technically that's not how the Pythagorean theorem works, but you know, Pythagoras can go fuck himself. This is D&D, baby.
Okay, I'm gonna go right next to Vareth then right here and be like, hey buddy. And then I'm gonna do a sneak attack on this limb right here.
All right, take a shot.
Calabunga! 17 to hit.
I'm pretty sure that hits. Let me double check. Oh yeah, that hits.
2 sneak, 4 piercing.
Okay. And that was the closer one or the further away one?
That was the furthest one away.
Okay.
That one.
And yeah, you shoot it. Actually, yeah, I think it doesn't matter. You shoot it, and as your arrow pierces the like flopping arm down into the floor, it stops flopping. All right, anything else from Zylander?
No.
All right, Vareth, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna trust that the arcane learned of us have fire. I actually looked to see if I had some lantern oil. I do not.
You might be able
so
to find some in the bar if you want to, but you know, also do whatever you can do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daddy Durnan said, so I'm like, I was looking to see.
Yes, Papa.
Yeah, right away, son.
Right away, Papa.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave that to everybody else, and I think that we're going to continue my game of cat and mouse, as it were. And let's take a shot from my cover back here.
All right.
That guy there. He
Let her
keeps
rip.
sacking them off. I'll keep shooting at him, I guess. And I want to make clear here, just not that I need to justify my character decisions to anybody. I would help these guys out, but if I shoot at them, there's a chance that I could hit them, and that would suck.
Yeah.
So
It's okay.
just
You
10 hit.
don't want to take an arrow to the face, Victor?
No. Good decisions.
It's a 10 to hit.
Does a 10 hit it? It does not. Want to use your inspo or no?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Go ahead and knock that off real quick. 14, is that better?
Not quite. I'm sorry. It's a 15 to hit.
Oh shit, that's all right. No worries.
Brutal.
Okay, yeah. Well,
so-
in that case, I am going to duck down though this time.
Okay.
My movement.
Was that you trying to hit the troll or the arm?
It's the arms, yeah.
Okay.
Listen, Daddy Durnan said, let him handle the troll. So I'm letting him handle the troll.
All right, that brings us to Obaya. She
Let us
is
back.
going to make an athletics check to get rid of this thing. Damn, she can't quite get it off. It's
Yikes.
squirming around. She can't get a good grab on it. Brutal.
That's why her and Victor broke up in the first place.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It was right there. It was right there.
Okay, this thing is going to crawl onto a little bit more stable ground before beginning to make its attacks on your boy Durnan. Bite attack and 2 claws.
I have to get my jokes out while I'm not
Okay,
there.
bite attack
Varys not a
hits,
jokester.
dealing 14 damage to Durnan. Brutal. And then both claw attacks also hit,
Oof.
dealing a total of 15 more points of damage. They are soaking up the damage off of each other at this point. Is that everything for my troll? I believe so. Okay. Oh, dang it. All right, hang on. All right, that brings us to Victor. You're up.
Yeah, Victor again, without much he can do, is going to try to pull this thing off of himself.
All right, make your athletics check.
16.
Okay, it's got a 21, so just like Obaya, you cannot get quite enough of a grip on this thing as its
Gosh dang it.
little chitinous body is squirming around. Any movement?
No, there's no.
All right, Ash, what you got?
Ash heard Durnan screaming about getting some oil, so he's gonna dash across the bar and try to
Okay.
find some lantern oil.
Yeah, make a perception check. I guess actually this is an investigation check. Because we're all looking for something very specific.
Alright, hang on 1 second. Investigation. Not my best, but we'll try.
11.
Got an 11.
Yeah, you can tell that these little, there are little lamps on the bar in a couple of spots, and they don't have a ton of oil in them. But if you grabbed a couple of them, you might be able to get a decent amount of oil together. They're kind of like those
And-
little glass lamps in, fancy-ish Italian restaurants or whatever that have, the little oil in the bottom.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Okay.
that. But more
And how
rustic,
would-
'cause,
How's the size of that compared to just like a vial of oil that I might have on me?
I would say 2 of them probably equal 1 vial of oil.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll grab one if there's one within reach.
Yeah, there's one. You can't really see it that well, but directly in front of where you jumped over the bar by Gillester is one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll grab that. And I don't know if I have anything left I can do after that search.
I'd say that's a free action to search, and you can also do an object interaction as a free action. So you do have some
Okay.
action left.
Okay. Am I still? Let's see if I am in range of anything anymore. Kinda right on the edge of 30 feet there, I think. So if we can call that 30 feet, then I'm gonna go ahead and just try to burn that troll again.
All right, let it rip.
Oops.
Okay.
Let's roll there.
Okay, it rolled damage, but it didn't roll the attack roll.
Yeah, I clicked the wrong thing. I
Okay.
did that in Beyond.
Gotcha.
Because I can find things easier there. Hang on one second, right there. Did that roll?
17, I believe that's gonna hit. Let me double check. Yes, 17 hits.
Alright, do
And
you
we'll
want to keep
just-
the damage I
Yeah, we'll
rolled
just take
or
the 6
reroll?
damage.
Alright.
Okay, 6 more damage. The troll is beginning to look pretty rough, gang. Anything else from Ash?
Nope, that's it.
All right, Tav, what you got?
Quick question about these creatures that are sucking the faces.
Mhm.
Is it such that they're so on it that I couldn't even use a dagger to hit them without risking piercing them?
Give me either an Arcana check or an Intelligence check. It might be the same for you. I don't know if you're not trained on Arcana, but
My Arcana is better, so we'll do that. Oof. 12.
12. You get the sense that these things are small enough that hitting them with any kind of force, I'm just going to tell you mechanically, if one of these things is attached to something and you knock it to 0 hit points, whatever, like, amount of damage you dealt to the creature, whatever it's attached to is going to take half of that.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, then I will instead just go ahead and use Firebolt on this little monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a +6 to hit. Come on. Oh, a 12 doesn't hit.
12
Does
does
it?
not hit.
Damn it.
You got inspo if you want to use it. You don't have to.
Yeah, I will go ahead and re-roll that. Yeah. Well, 24 hit it.
24 hits.
Cool. All right. Blessed be the damage of 3.
Well, these limb jumbles do not have a ton of hit points, so that is
Excellent.
going to knock it out. Okay, any movement from Teth?
She's probably gonna stay where she's at, actually.
Okay. All right.
Daddy Durnan.
Here we go, Dernan. I'm gonna make 4 attacks. First attack, 10 misses. Second attack, 21 hits. Unfortunately, creates another limb jumble. I just needed to copy it, is what I needed to
Okay.
do.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Listen, it was easier to do that than to make a whole new one. Okay, so that creates another limb jumble. The next hit is 9 slashing damage. That does not.
How many limbs does this thing have?
It keeps growing them back.
Oh,
And you are hitting it
that's
with
rude.
fire, so it's not like regaining hit points every turn. But it does still regenerate its limbs.
Damn.
Okay. And then okay. So
Thinking artificer?
it creates one more limb jumble. He drops it technically to 0 hit points, but he didn't kill it with fire damage. So he is going to make a bite attack. Can I do that? Hang on. Yeah, he is actually going to eat his own limb jumble. And he is
Yeah.
going to regain
Oh,
26 hit points.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
26?
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
ate his
So
limb?
so he gets dropped to 0. No, you're not a troll. He gets dropped to 0,
You sure?
but because of his relentless hunger, he doesn't
Not
actually
grass.
die or fall unconscious. And then because he was dropped to 0, he gets to take a spiteful retort, which allows him to make a bite attack against a creature within range. And if he drops the bite attack, if he successfully hits a bite attack, he deals damage. And if he drops something to 0 hit points with that, he gains twice as much hit points as he normally would.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah.
It's about to get bad.
All right. And that was Durnan's last attack that did that, right? Yes. So, that's
Run
crazy.
a delusion check to see if I think I'm a troll enough to eat its limb.
Delusion.
I
check.
thought,
yeah.
I thought we weren't playing Kaylin.
Pass a DC 1 check. Okay. It is Sturge time. Victor.
Yep.
I'm going to deal you 3 points of damage and then make a Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh man, just getting real bad.
Poor guy's down there fighting with a mosquito.
You said Constitution?
Yes.
How did you die in your DD campaign?
Hey,
Hey, oh no, Victor, you are
Malaria.
poisoned.
West Nile.
oh no.
And then
Poison now, too?
Obaya is getting her 3 damage coming in here. Okay, and then she also has to make her Constitution save, which she succeeds. Okay.
Okay.
Any other living ones of these guys? I don't think so. No. Okay.
That's a one episode adventure.
Yagra.
You got inspiration back, Victor, and I also got it back if you want to do the overlay.
I forgot to even
Oh,
take it
no,
off
that
of
was
Victor.
hit die for me.
Oh, was it a hit die? Sorry.
Ah,
My bad.
okay. All right, Victor, you can roll a hit die and regain.
Victor already had
Yeah.
inspo. Ace.
Yeah, I know.
He hasn't
I
used
fucked
his
up.
yet.
He did hit die.
Okay.
I was stupid. That's me.
All right.
Okay. I
Uh,
don't remember how to roll a hit die unless I got to do it on my turn.
no, you can do now. Let's see.
Middle of your sheet
Middle
under
of your
10
sheet.
hit points.
Yep.
Oh, I see it right here. Hit die.
Yep, you
Yep.
just click where it says hit dice and it's red.
Oh, wow. I gained 10 hit points.
Okay, look at that.
Nice. Thanks, Ace.
Okay, with that, Yagra jumps up onto the table next to you, Victor, and is going to try to pull this thing off of you herself.
She's had no success pulling her own. Oh, it's Yagra.
Okay,
Just kidding.
she has pack tactics, and grapple technically counts as an attack, so she does get advantage. Lucky you. So she gets a 19. So this thing has to roll its dexterity to avoid. It critted. It double critted. This
Oh
thing
my
is
God.
burrowed in like a tick
Ew.
from hell.
It just reminds me of the freaking scarabs from the Mummy.
Yeah. Okay, she's gonna make another one. That is a dirty 20. Because she has 2 attacks. Where are you? Okay, this thing is one more dex save. Nat 1. So finally, she managed to
God.
grab it and pull it and huck it onto the floor nearby, and it bounces and then flits back up into the air.
Good. Nah.
Incredible. All right, now it is the Limb Jumble's turn. 2. All right, how fast does this thing get to go? Okay. Oh, it's got enough. It's got
Oh, no.
enough. So this is a leg this time, and it's like flopping its way over to you,
Ew.
and then its grody troll toenails are like gonna jump up and try and scratch you, Tav. That is only a 7 to hit. Damn, that's not gonna
Yeah,
hit.
get out of here. You.
Yeah, it turns out that that a leg with no eyes is not great at. All right, Tav, you have inspo back. A leg with no eyes is not great at aiming. We've discovered.
That's hilarious, though.
Zylander, you're
Oh
up.
my gosh.
She can't roll, and neither can the things trying to hit her. Looking across the bar, can I tell that one that we finally got off Victor, can I hit it without hurting somebody else?
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to use my crossbow, and I'm going to aim at the one that
All right,
just pulled
let her
off of
rip.
Victor. 23 to hit.
23 hits. Roll damage.
9.
That's gonna do it. So you staple.
Jesus Christ.
You staple another one of these to the bar floor.
Thunk.
Anything
Just
else
call
from
me a
Zylander?
stapler. And then my turn.
Okay. Vareth, you're up.
Okay, so how many of these little lamps are here?
Let's see. There's just like any of them that you can kind of see. So like, there's one on this table. This back corner has several of them. There's one more at the end of the bar down here. And then this back table in the corner here has them. There may be more in like the back of the building, but you're not sure.
Okay. Cool. So I guess I'll run up here 5, 10. That'll get me to it, right?
Yep.
And I'm gonna grab that and throw it at the troll.
All right. Make a dexterity check.
Okay, so that would just be clicking on Dex in the skills, not the saves, right?
Correct.
19.
Yeah, that'll do.
Nice.
Okay,
Good
so
job.
you throw it. The whistling through the air does put the flame out, but it does smash over the troll and begin to coat his gross body in oil.
Okay, I do have
So
some
we now
movement left.
have a very slippery troll.
That's how you like them,
Lovely.
nice and slippery, you
Move
know.
on.
Yeah,
Well, I swear.
I
greased
haven't
up
used my-
troll in the bar.
Oh, I hate it here.
I haven't used the rest of my movement. 5, 10. That's 20 total. 25, and I'm gonna grab right here on the chance that I need to grab another one the next turn.
Okay.
That'd be it for me.
All right, Obaya. She is getting desperate.
Yeah, she should be.
Me and her both.
This is incredible. She's gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Yeah! Come on!
Burning a 3rd level spell slot on this one fucking thing.
Lady, what have you been waiting for?
Right?
3rd level spell sitting there.
Okay, Spirit Guardians, is that a 10-foot radius around her? I think it is.
At least.
I'm pretty sure. I'll double check it here in a second. Where are you? Obaya, Spirit Guardians, bloop. 15-foot radius, even better. Okay, so she calls upon her deity, and calls on Spirit Guardians.
Can we hear who she's praying to?
Yeah. So, Victor knows this, but you all hear the prayer. Actually, she's speaking in Chultan. So if anyone, unless you speak Chultan, you don't exactly know who she's praying to. But Victor, you do know who she worships. It is Joaquin, the deity of merchants, the goddess of merchants, basically.
Very
So,
nice.
so essentially, piles of spectral gold coins whiz around, and when this thing's turn resumes, it will take some damage from that. Okay, troll time. Troll is going to attack Durnan once again. 1 bite, 2 claws. Bite, claw, claw. Bite misses. Both claws hit for 5 damage and 10 for 15 off of Durnan. But the bite misses, so it doesn't regain any hit points. That's nice.
Hey.
Victor, you are up.
Yeah. I'm going. Well, just talking is talking that action.
If you can say it quickly, it's a free action. If it takes longer than 6 seconds to impart the information, then you can't say it.
Yeah. No, I just want to say thanks to the. Forgot her name.
Yagra?
Yeah. Thanks, Yagra.
Yeah, she says, don't mention it.
I'm going to kind of run up to this side of you, Dave. And, actually, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to start coming. Do these think? Oh, it's attached, so it doesn't have opportunity.
Yeah, I'm going to say it can't take an opportunity attack on you.
Okay.
I think it says on its sheet, let me just double check. I'm 90% sure it says it can't make a attack against a creature if it's attached to a different one.
Okay.
It would have to,
Well, I'm going to
unattack.
use my 30 movement and kind of go right about here with this thing. And I'm going to try to
Okay.
attack it.
Yeah, let her rip.
All right, let's see. Let's see here. 18 to hit
Yeah, 18 will hit.
for 7 slashing damage.
All right. Yeah, you, as this thing leaps up and tries to scratch Tav with its ugly, rotten toenails, you
Ew.
cut it in half and it falls limply to the ground. Anything else
limply.
from Victor?
No, I think he's gonna stay right where he's at.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
Ash,
Ash, you're up.
Ash will leap over the bar and run about halfway over to this
Okay.
guy.
How tall can you leap as a halfling?
I'm very
It's
dexterous.
very nimble.
Okay, great.
They call him
Yeah,
Jack.
I mean, it's just the bar height.
Because,
Been
he's so
dancing
nimble.
on tables for years.
Got the boots of Spring Heel Jack.
But we are just gonna light it up again since it's already got
Alright.
a little oil and see how.
Okay.
Let me make sure I click the right button this time. Alright, that is click.
Okay, 11 is not going to hit.
Oof.
You can use inspiration if
So
you want.
Yeah, let's use that inspiration because we want to
Okay.
burn this thing right now. We need some fire in here. Oops, well, I used my inspiration. I don't need
That's
to
okay.
re-roll, right?
No, you do. If you, yeah. So one of the, and that is the thing I should point out. Because it
Okay.
already rolls both dice to begin with, it would be kind of like cheating if you knew, oh, if I use my inspiration, I'm going to get a specific number that you can
Got
see rather than rolling. So if you use inspiration, we do roll again and take the left side number.
Okay. So we got a
Unless you
16
say
for-
beforehand, if you know it's an important roll and you're like, I want to use my inspiration in advance, then we treat it like normal inspiration.
Got
If that
it.
makes sense.
Cool.
Okay.
Understood.
But 16
Makes
will
sense.
hit.
All right. And I have to click here for 3 fire damage.
Okay. I would like you to also roll me. How does oil work? How does a flask of oil work? 1 second, everybody. We got to
actually have
Google 5e.
I have that actually. I have it written down. So it throw it up to 20 feet, shattering on impact. On a hit, the target is covered in oil. If it takes any fire damage before the oil dries, after 1 minute, the target takes an additional 5 fire damage from the burning oil.
Okay. All right. So it takes 5 more fire damage from the oil, and it doesn't like that very much. It is shrieking and covered in flames.
Good.
Beautiful.
Anything else from Ash?
That's it.
Okie dokie. Tav, you are up. The horrible foot has been destroyed by your
Yep.
good pal Victor the Paladin.
Incredible.
The Paladin. Damn it.
The Paladin. Yeah.
What would you like to do?
She's gonna go ahead and throw a firebolt at it.
Okay.
So please hit, please hit. Yeah, 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah. That's gonna be a 1d10 of damage. It's
That's
only
some-
2. Damn it.
Okay. It's still not liking that very much.
But it should do an additional 5, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's still covered in oil. Why not? Okay. Anything else from Tav?
Nobody else is. It's really just that thing left in poor Abaya who's sitting there trying
Yeah.
to figure out her life, right? Actually, Tav might be able. I think she has 2 weapon handling. At this point, she's feeling really bad for Abaya. I know she's got like all of her spirit guardians hanging out with her, but she is going to go ahead and move over and hope she doesn't get pissed off when she uses her offhand attack with a dagger.
Okay. I think if you cast it, so I think in order, I want to double check.
Okay.
I think in order to use offhand attack, you have to take the attack action with your main action. Is that right?
Oh,
Am
you
I-
might be right. You might be right. Let me see.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
because Liam has
Do weapon
that, but you
fighting.
have
Oh,
to
you're
make
right,
a,
you're
you
right,
have to
yeah.
make a weapon attack first.
Yep, you're right. Okay,
Okay.
nope. So Tav will.
But you
actually
can
say
move
that
over there
for
and be ready for the next round. Or not, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll hang out here.
Okay, Durnan is back up. Let's see. Durnan is gonna move over here. He is going to make an athletics check. That's terrible.
No, we don't like that.
Yeah, okay, he tries to shove the troll back onto the bridge. It fails. He's gonna try it one more time. He's not rolling great. Yeah, it doesn't work. He's gonna give up on that and just attack. That misses. He's gonna do it again. That's a nat 1. Durnan. Oh no.
What?
Durnan is failing miserably this round, gang. He makes absolutely no progress in stopping this troll. At the beginning of its turn, this Surge has to make a dexterity save versus Spirit Guardians. That's a nat 1. So the
Good for that.
spectral magical gold coins just eviscerate and evaporate that Sturge directly off of her body. I think maybe it actually turns into a solid gold Sturge, falls to the ground with a clink, and then like whoosh, is vanish and like offered as an offering to her god. So that would be the Sturge's turn, but they're all dead. It's up to Yagra, who is herself now going to run up here. What does she have by the way of weapons? She's going to pull out her heavy
Then
crossbow
guns.
and take a shot, which misses. There are no troll limb jumbles this turn. Zylander, we're back to you.
Wait, throwing stuff is a dex save or dex check, right?
Typically, if it's like, depending on how heavy the thing is, it might be a strength check, but usually it's a dex check if it's just like a
Okay.
small
Are
item.
these still there?
I believe Vareth grabbed that one.
That one is the one that I tossed.
Here,
Okay,
let
so
me.
there's still one there, right?
Let's see. Vareth grabbed that one. Ash grabbed this one, didn't you? So Ash still has
yeah.
that one. This one is still here. These are still here. And these are still here.
Yeah, those are gonna be too far away for me to do anything with right this second. It's coated in oil. I just wish I had something for fire.
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I'm just gonna go for a short bow attack on it. That's all I
Alright.
can do.
Sure, let her rip.
19 to hit.
19 hits.
Ooh,
Okay.
hell yeah.
13 damage does drop it to 0. The
Yeah.
However,
damage
that's
is not
a
fire
yay.
damage.
Oh,
So it does
Yeah.
freaking.
get
But
to
it is
spiteful
burning.
retort. It is burning,
Yeah.
but the damage that dropped it isn't fire damage.
Yeah.
That
My
is how
arrow
the thing
passed
is
through the
worded.
fire, and then it gets.
So it is going to make a
fire
bite attack against Durnan, which it hits,
Oh, buddy.
and it does regain 14 hit points
damage. Damn it! Look,
as it
look,
takes a
I
chunk
brought-
out of Durnan.
So it's like even worse to like not hit it with fire. To like, it doesn't even make sense to hit
don't
it.
hit it without fire.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It's
it
like-
does seem that way.
The net is the wrong way.
I mean, it could miss, you know.
I mean,
and
I
then,
was really just hoping that I didn't kill it. That's all I was hoping for. Just get it
Yeah.
low enough that one of you with fire would be able to kill it.
all right,
but-
Vareth, you're up.
Well, I am definitely going to run down here to this other thing of oil.
Sure.
That'll be 20 of my movement to grab
Okay.
that.
Sure.
I do want to use 10 of it to move back a little closer.
Okay.
And then give her a toss of planet across.
All right, let her rip.
How's 17 do?
17 will do that. So, do I have a? No, this. Yeah. So you throw the lamp. Woo! And yeah, you hit it. It's covered in oil. It was already burning, so I guess that would light that. I'm gonna give it to 5.
Yeah, it
Takes
does
5
say
more
every
damage.
turn that does fire damage. Every attack that does fire damage does an additional.
I was
5.
hoping it would explode, and that would have been really funny.
Okay. That brings us to Obaya. Does she have anything fire related she can do? No.
She got level 3 spells, but no firebolt.
I mean, she's a cleric, so
Yeah, she's a cleric.
Well,
and also a merchant.
Yeah,
Yeah, merchant.
she's kind of got nothing. It's all radiant. She is gonna move over here a little closer to everybody, just so that if anything comes into melee with you guys, it'll get hit by the spirit guardians. That brings us to Troll. Troll is gonna do its usual. Bite, claw. Bite, miss. Claw 1, miss. Claw 2, hit.
Oh wow.
8 slashing damage on Durnan. Victor, you're up.
If I was to light my tinderbox, then that's an action, correct?
Yes, lighting.
Or lighting a torch. My bad.
Yeah, if you use your tinderbox to light a torch, that takes an action. Light a torch, that takes an action.
I've got a lantern in my hand too. If you wanted to, you could grab it from me on the way through.
Where you at?
Right beside you.
Oh, you are.
He's looking around. You gotta look
Just-
down, Bob.
Take inspiration for that one, BP. That was a good one.
Oh.
So is it okay if I took that from him? Can I still
Yeah.
throw it?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna grab it from him and I am gonna throw it. At
All right.
the
Next check.
Dex check. Oh yeah, my dex ain't good. 14.
14 will do it.
Yeah.
How do you roll a 0? Oh, you rolled a nat 1. You have a -1 dexterity.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. All right. It is on death's door. Ash, you're up. What you
All
got?
right, we're going more flame. That's all we got.
All right, let her rip.
Oh, here we go.
16 hits.
16.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
7.
Go!
Ash, tell me a story. How
Yeah.
does Ash kill this troll?
So Ash's eyes kind of start to flicker, and the ember on his neck starts to pulse. His hand produces a flame, and then suddenly it launches straight at the troll, blasting it directly in the chest, lighting the oil on fire even more, and just like burning his face to a crisp.
Yeah, so the troll bursts into flame, the oil, kind of all of it catching fire. As the troll begins to burn, Durnan sort of takes his foot and gives it a hearty kick, pulling a classic
This is
Leonidas.
Sparta.
Yeah, pulling a This Is Sparta, and the troll is kicked down into the to the pit, where it vanishes dead and not getting back up.
Nice. Oh my.
All right.
Don't fuck with Durning, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, everyone breathing heavily. A few moments later, Obaya's aura goes away. The gold coins vanish. And Durnan makes his way over to the rest of you, sort of like, puts his sword point down into the floor and says, oh, well, thanks for your help. That was a little exciting.
So why'd you put your pub on top of a troll hole?
Oh. He says, well, this ain't no troll hole. This is, that right there is a tunnel into Undermount. It's a massive cave system beneath Waterdeep. It's full of all sorts of nasty things, but plenty of treasure as well. And he hefts his greatsword, which you can tell is, despite having cut through this horrible troll and it's like blackish red blood, he sort of like gives it a quick shake, and the blood sort of sluices off the magical blade. And he says, it's a little over your head here, but if y'all, one day, if you choose, you might go down in there yourselves. I allow adventurers to pay a small fee to be lowered down into the dungeon if they wish, but sometimes stuff crawls out of there. But, well, it's my bar, so I'm always on hand to deal with it.
How often's treasure come crawling out of that thing?
Oh, about 20% as often as adventurers go down in it.
You ever consider putting up thicker walls around it?
What for? He says as he sort of like makes his way back. He gestures to Zylander and Vareth to get out from behind the bar.
Oh, just for new initiates who might be in over their head.
Just love the what for?
I'm sorry, did we all miss the short joke of it went over his head?
But he does look at all of you who participated in the fight and say, well, you fought well. And pours out another round of drinks.
Did we fight well enough that if we ever want to go down that hole, you ain't gonna charge us?
No.
Well, I guess we'll take the ale.
Yeah.
And some of the bar staff grab the dead monsters and huck them all over into the pit as well.
Galen will come over and prestidigitate clean the floor beneath them.
Hold on, wait, who?
Tav.
Does Tav also have prestidigitation?
Dang it.
Do they both have prestidigitation though?
They sure do.
That's gotta be confusing as hell.
Yep, that's why I got confused. Because we both do.
And you guys sit down with your drinks. And a few moments later, an interesting figure who you've seen in the bar a few times approaches you. He is a man with a massive mustache, that's sort of like drawn out and curled up at the sides, and a very sort of like fancy flopped over hat. And as he approaches, he strokes his mustache, adjusts his floppy hat, tightens his scarf a little bit, and says, "Hello, I am Volotampa Gadarm, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity at your service. I trust you've noted the violence in our fair city these past 10 days, yes? I haven't seen so much blood myself since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But now, I saw how you all fought in that little skirmish there, and I wish to request your assistance."
You hiring?
Yes. I fear I have misplaced a friend of mine amid the odious malevolence of this, gang war or whatever is taking our streets.
Well, would you tell us more about your friend?
Yes, my friend's name is Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, you know, and I worry he took a bad way home a couple nights ago and was kidnapped. Or maybe worse. If you agree to track him down with all due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece now, and I can give you each 10 times that when you find Floon. May I prevail upon you in my hour of need.
I'm sorry, he said 10 what?
Dragons. That's a gold piece.
Okay.
Waterdavian coins.
That's right, yes. Okay.
Gold coins have dragons stamped on them.
Sorry, between the accent and the unfamiliar word, I was like,
you know,
man.
I do that I really shouldn't give important lore PCs accents like this. It's a mistake I've made many times in my life.
No, it's fine. It's great. It's exactly what I would expect Bolo to sound like.
Yeah.
So you're good.
That's one of us.
Listen, you Baldur's Gate kids, some of us take us, you know, we do a little different sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah. You're Bolo? Is that what you said?
Yes, Volo Tampagedarm, although in the common parlance I am known as Volo, yes.
The Volo that wrote the book?
Yes, I've written many books.
Oh, he's gonna pull out his Guide to Waterdeep. This book?
Yes, that was one of my earliest. It's quite popular still.
Oh, well, will you sign it?
Oh, certainly. Will you take my job?
I'll have to talk it over, but I think we could probably help find a missing person.
Wonderful, wonderful. And he takes out a quill and some ink. It's not as easy as just pulling out a Sharpie. He like sets a little quill on your table, or sets a little ink jar on your table, takes out like a little blotting strip from like his pouch, a little bit of sand. You know, he like puts the quill in, blots it, you know, dabs it, and then signs your thing, and then blows it dry. But yeah, you now have an autographed copy of Volo's Guide to Waterdeep.
Thank you.
Invent the autograph.
If I may, what does your friend look like?
Ah, yes, he is a, as I said, he's got more beauty than brains. He has, red hair. He's usually quite well dressed. And, yeah, he, I gotta check and see what I have him wearing. Stand by, everyone.
If it's the one I made.
Who knows?
Red hair, handsome. I'm kind of checking.
Yes, when we hung out last, he was wearing fine but simple clothes. A black shirt, light tan pants, boots. You'll notice his face far more than his garb, I think.
Kind
Oh,
of a
so-
model.
Any
So you
reason you'd
human?
have somebody hunting him?
No, not at all. If I knew specifically who might have him, I would go to the guard, but they don't have time, they say, for wild goose chases. But
we know it.
He's, missing. And
What would someone
no.
want with him?
I'm sorry?
What would someone want with him?
I truly don't know. He's, well, between you and me, he's a bit of a Lothario, yes?
I'm sorry, a what?
Lothario?
Come again.
I mean, exactly. Yes, he has a number of admirers with whom he stays regularly,
Oh.
and I suppose it's possible that these, spent some time with someone's spouse he shouldn't have, or perhaps has a jealousy situation between his paramours. I'm not totally sure. We were drinking one night. I have a bit of writer's block, and we met at a tavern in the dock ward. We drank and gambled for a few hours. And then, I had to make my own way home, and I haven't seen him since.
What was the place you were drinking at?
It's a pretty rough part of town. It's called the Skewered Dragon.
Why were you guys hanging out there?
They have booze.
Booze at safer places.
Well, I'm alright. I don't precisely know what he was doing there, but I'm a writer, and they say to write about what you know about, and so if I only stay in nice places, I don't learn about the things that I can put into my books. I have to see the real Waterdeep,
Okay, I believe you. I read your book.
So,
So what's this guy's face look like? You said we'd know him by his face. Pretty boy.
Yes, he is famously handsome.
Human?
Yes,
Color's his hair.
red.
Red hair.
Yes, red hair. He has a jawline like a sculptor would make,
Seems handsome. I can appreciate good art. I might be in it to retrieve a lost piece of artwork for the city.
Gale sort of looks over at you and raises an eyebrow. Oh, really?
Darling, darling, you know that I have an eye for these things. I promise, though, none shine as bright as yours.
Make a deception or persuasion check, your choice.
It's not deception, it's persuasion. She truly loves this man. We are re-rolling that.
Oh, we're taking
Re-roll
that inspiration.
that.
Okay.
Plot thickens.
And
Oh my
Zach comes
gosh.
out.
Oh no. Yeah. So Gale, I don't think he's not really super upset,
Okay.
but he does sort of take a, you can tell that he's a little bit in his feelings. Just, it's like one of those things that it's kind of all fun and games and flirty until somebody actually gets their feelings hurt a little bit, and you realize you have sort of just dipped a toe across that line slightly.
Did we all notice this as well, that Gil's a little upset?
I think you'd all have to make insight checks.
I want to do an insight check. 17.
Okay.
Ash just realized Gale was here for that whole fight. And looks at him.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing?
He says, if you must know, I was in the bathroom.
Convenient.
Ale's not that bad.
He says, we had duck earlier.
Oh my.
Tab, where are you taking him?
So sorry. I just really am trying to win someone over. I don't think it's working in our favor.
We have,
So,
he says, it was a street vendor selling duck.
Yes.
You should know better.
so
To be fair, it's still better than my cooking. I think my cooking more so resembles the way it, the smell of the charged troll is not too far off.
And Zylander, you rolled a 17. You do notice that he did get his feelings hurt a little bit there.
Zylander's just gonna grab his shoulder and be like, "It's all right, buddy. She can look at the map. It doesn't mean she's going on a trip."
Okay, you make a perception check. I'm not a perception. You make a persuasion check.
A persuasion check?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a charisma. Ah, no! I'm burning it. I'm burning it.
Burn the inspo. Burn the
is
inspo.
getting
I'm gonna
shit
make
on
y'all
right
burn
now.
more inspo with this scale than any fucking fight we get into. I can see how this is going already.
Persuasion. 11.
11. Yeah, I think he's maybe somewhat mollified. He says, oh, you're right, I suppose. Yeah, and so Volo says, to sort of bring the conversation back, right, so, will you help me out? Take the job? He pulls out several small bags that clink with gold coins and sets them on the table by way of persuasion.
I think the second that they touch the tables, Islander's gonna grab one of them up and be like, "Yep, we're good."
Tab's gonna grab Gail's hand and say, "Would it be all right with you if I take this job? I think it might be best if we discuss it real quick."
I mean, he says, you and your friends are, your own thing. I don't know that it's quite right for me to say one way or another. But I should be getting going soon. I do have to work tomorrow.
I know. So long as you know that yours is the bed I come back to every night.
Well, since you put it like that.
Victor's gonna look at Bolo and be like, "Bolo, rescuing a damsel in distress? I'm in."
He's more of a damn son than a damn soul, but I understand what you mean. Well, thank you so much. I've been worried sick since 2 nights ago when he went missing. So, yeah, and he pushes the rest of the gold bags. There is 1 bag for each of you, which contains 10 gold, which you can add to your sheets.
10 gold.
And I think, at the mention of the tavern, the Skewered Dragon, I think Ash and Xylandor and probably Verith have a sense of where that is. So as Gale takes his leave to go home and rest for the night, and you all begin to consider your plans for the rest of the evening to maybe look into finding this Floon Blagmar character, that is where we are going to leave our first session this evening, my friends. So, thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you, players, for sharing your time and your talents with us this evening. We are going to do our usual sign-off, and then we're going to find somebody to go raid. We are going to remind everybody now who we have been playing, where we can be found on the internet, and while I look for somebody to raid, if anyone in chat knows somebody they want to raid, please do let me know. But we are going to throw to our eponymous Yeet Daddy, Vincent, first.
Oh, these titles I wear, the weight I carry. Yeah, guys, I am Vincent Page. I've been Verith, your Gloomstalker Ranger. Will be a Gloomstalker Ranger one day. And yeah, you can find me on Twitch at Vincent Page. Same as it shows up on the screen here. I'm excited. This was fun. It's really fun to get to play a very different character that I've been playing in the other campaign. So.
I am Lady Stuff, and I have been Tav, the Draconic Sorceress, and apparently bad girlfriend. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. This
Brutal.
is my second. I tried to romance somebody in the last campaign. We're seeing how that's gonna go. We'll see how this goes. An NPC romance. We'll see how long he lives.
The heart is a fickle thing. All right, Skynet.
Yeah, I'm Skynet the Wise. You can usually find me around the communities here. But I have been playing Victor Valorcrest the Paladin, and for some reason, I about died to a mosquito tonight.
Indeed.
Gotta watch out for that dengue.
Yeah. I am Jason,
yeah, go ahead,
playing
sorry.
Ash Whisper, the druid, child of wildfire.
Excellent. And Foxy.
And I am Rainbow Foxy. You'll catch me in the Yeet fleet almost every night because I don't have a life. And I have been playing your High Elf Rogue. Almost said Changeling Warlock, but not this time.
And oh, go ahead.
That's finally learns he's a changeling warlock, but it's the wrong character.
Wrong
Got it.
campaign.
I've done it right.
I am Pixel, your humble master of dungeons, keeper of dragons, your Durnan, your Obaya, your Jelester, your Gale, your Volo, your Yagra, your Jarenth, your random dock workers. We've been all of it tonight. We're doing everything. I was your troll and your weird little bat things, your sturges, and your crawling masses of limbs as well. You can find me here on twitch.tv/hammer and pixel, where I am not streaming as much as I used to because my work schedule just changed. Hopefully we'll get back into it at some point. We'll see. But on alternating weeks, you can also find me on Saturdays for our Descent into Avernus campaign, which I'm not 100% sure when our next session is, so just keep an eye out on the Discord for that. And of course, as always, friends, do me a huge favor and please be kinder to yourself than you think you have to be between now and the next time that I see you, because as it turns out, I just rolled a nat 20 insight check, and I realized that you aren't as kind to yourself as you should be. So go ahead and just give yourself a +5 to self-kindness checks for the next couple of weeks until I see you again, and we are going to go raid our friends over at Goblets and Warlocks. Thank you all. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together